even know how that affects you, but bear in mind that Penta, the reason why they made their changes is because they failed to qualify for the DreamHatch Kluge Major. Both qualifiers, they lost to LDLC Blue and then Copenhagen Wolves, so they had to make a change now. As the knife round goes out, it's time to see if Penta have made enough of a change.
All right then, here we go. Kicking off with our first game of tonight's ESL ESEA Pro League. Penta making their debut, for us at least. And it does look like they've started as they mean to go on, cutting people down, cutting Na'Vi down to size, and they're going to have their choice of side coming into their game on Cash. I do expect them to take over to the defensive side, and they are going to put Na'Vi in the boots of the terrorists to start this one off.
I'm looking forward to see as the rounds develop. Now, with Guardian having a bit more freedom than he had last night, you could see he was struggling a little bit to really make an impact. Cash, as you guys say in Europe, a little bit of a different story.
I think we should allow you to call it Cash. That's the Australian way. Sponge gets away with it. I think you're allowed.
Sponge can get away with anything. You've seen his hair?
Yeah, that is, it's a surfer look, and, and I don't think he's a particularly a big surfer. But either way, I think it's time for us to jump into our first round. Mitch, why don't you take us away?
Right, we armor on Tabson and Tarsin here. A couple of nades in the mix for Penta, and Guardian has a brace of them as well with armor on the rest of Na'Vi. Looks like Bomb slowly being ferried towards this A site here with C's just holding back in the middle. He will have some company in a moment, no doubt. Smoke up in front of A main as well, and Na'Vi just taking their time. They'll work through A long, they'll work through that squeaky onto this A site, and we'll just be Spitty now as the smoke comes down. Yes, Penta will be alerted to this one. It is opened up. Spitty on towards Zeus now. Na'Vi, will they push out? This looks like they want to go in towards this one now. Spitty just behind the forklift. All he do is Flamey is already on that side, trying to work towards Highway, but Tabson with a lovely little double there. Spitty is well taking Na'Vi down to one player. Guardian just trying to spam with the Glock out from A main. He's just going to have to back away of this one. Yeah,
I mean, Spitty making that kind of risk-reward kind of glass cannon 5-7, if for lack of a better word, just opting away from the Kevlar, picking up that pistol and finding two off the back of that one. Felt like Na'Vi were kind of just aimlessly throwing themselves in. There was no kind of, often we see a Molotov invested if you are going to go for an all-in A play just to clear that kind of NBK corner, even just towards quad. No such luck. And actually now Guardian, with 30 seconds left, is just going to go ahead and just, I mean, what's his plan here? Get caught through the door. It was Crystal who found him. And that's going to be a very, very convincing start for Penta. Not only picking them all up, but not losing a single man. And that's going to put good kind of cash in their pockets. I'm intrigued to see how many SMGs they do pick up, considering they know that Na'Vi are not going to be that well geared. In fact, Na'Vi's still going to be putting some armor on towards their side, trying to force something and try and keep Penta on their toes. Yeah, it does look like at the very least armor for most of those, except Zeus with the Tech 9, and of course Penta with a bit of a buy-up. UMP for Strux here as well. Tabson with a great round last round, holding just a really a steel nerve with that USP from Highway to stop Na'Vi. But let's see if Penta now can start to gain some momentum here. Does look like a little bit of a set play towards A. You can see C's just lining up this smoke here. He's going to send that one in, and Edward is already set up in A main. Smoke does obscure him from Spitty at the moment, but he'll be lying in wait for Na'Vi to again pour out onto the A side. Smoke again, just from Penta trying to delay them. They've got plenty more where that came from, and Na'Vi are happy to wait. No nades really to force this push. They have two smokes to implement, and we know already from experience that Penta are going to immediately start rotating as those smokes do get invested. They still have the two players there. Actually, that goes one smoke number one. In fact, smoke number two was released at the same time, so this is it for Na'Vi. Starting to make the call, and actually his blood is drawn by Zeus. That's a start. Rotate coming in from Tarsin and Strux, but it comes down to Spitty.
That's right, Spitty now trying to hold up from Rafters. He does get on towards Edward. Yes, another one to seize, but from Squeaky, Flamey's able to pick it up in response. Crystal now just going to round the corner to pick him up. Guardian tried to flex through mid. He stayed in mid for most of that round, hoping to shut down, a Tabson sort of hold with whatever he was doing like in the first round. But he will still drop again at the end of it. Penta with two on the trot here, and Spitty looking sharp.
Very much so, and you can see the contrast there being highlighted that they did manage to take 3 weapons away during that round, so Na'Vi definitely not too much lost from that one. One better could have been getting the bomb down, but they're going to be very happy with that one, keeping their foot on Penta's economy, and you can see evidence of that there. Look at Crystal down to a Deagle, Spitty on the 5-7 as well, and they're convinced they can shred through them with just this pistol in hand. Spitty actually goes aggressive on the offensive and costs him a whole lot of health. Forced to back away. Kind of lucky to be alive at this point.
Yeah, Guardian avoiding the nade that they actually threw to cover his tracks now. So Penta a little bit battered after that first engagement. Spitty trying to get some value out of that pistol, but not going to happen as Guardian gets a nice little shot towards him now. Tabson on red. He can just poke around the corner. He does see the head of Zeus. So Penta, no. Cat's out of the bag by now as the Molotov coming over from Crystal to try and slow this one up.
You are going to be seeing tabseN just continue to lay down a little bit of fire. These are unarmored Ts. They are going to be taking a battering if any kind of Molotov or nade does connect. So far, so good, though, for Na'Vi. Not taking too much. I spoke too soon. Guardian is going to be down and out. Strux follows as well, as it is just going to be a case of hitting a bit of a blue brick wall. Edward through Highway doesn't last much longer. And it's just going to be a case of whether or not C's and his team sold the fake well enough. Not going to happen. He ran all the way from A main back to B in the hope that the full rotate had come out from Penta. But no bomb was spotted, and tarzan held his ground. 3 then on the board for Penta to start this one off, and now it's rifle time for Na'Vi.
Na'Vi poking and prodding those first few rounds, hoping to sneak some sort of low economy round through. It's not going to be the case, though, as they find themselves at a deficit. But here, the proof's going to be in the pudding here, Alex, now as the fire round does come out. Guardian with the AWP, no armor.
tabseN had money for a rifle. He had money for a rifle. He has opted voluntarily to take that Mag 7, and that intrigues me. Keep an eye on him as the round does progress, but we are going to be seeing an AWP on either side. Crystal fires off a fast shot while his vision is obscured by the flash, and Guardian does just what Guardian does best, clears out middle with a shot to tabseN. And now Penta have to operate at disadvantage.
Give Guardian an inch and he'll take a mile, or at least ahead of his opponent player now. As Spitty wants to flash himself through A main. No, considers to turn back and looking towards Squeaky, but Flamey's far too fast on that shot. And now look at this, Penta down to 2, forced to make rotations. Crystal wants a shot on towards A. It's going to be a lot of smoke for him to deal with now. Not a great weapon to be trying to fight off 4 players at close range. Not at least Na'Vi. And Guardian takes his head clean off.
Yeah, and where has Penta gone? They have been kind of ripped apart in this round. Just 16 points of health now for tarzan to work with, and it looks like Edward's going to be the one to try and take that away. He's going to do just that. Finds his head. A little bit of overkill as Na'Vi do pick up their first real option, a kind of ideal round off the back of that pistol. So, first 3 for Penta. Let's see if they can not fall foul to a similar fate that Titan fell into, where they got the first 3 and then continue to have a real struggle up against Mousesports T's side just yesterday.
Yeah, this is a really clean, that was a really clean round from Na'Vi, to be honest, with the first buy. Still having 3 left at the end. So let's see if they can continue to build up some momentum here now as Penta, of course. A couple Deagles there. tabseN, tarzan has one as well. 5-7 for Spitty. Not really buying too much in terms of utility or nades. tabseN does have armor. Let's see if it's going to pay off for him now. Is the bomb not yet being picked up? So Na'Vi want to soften up Penta before they try and go for a sight here.
I've just realised we're going to be struggling with tabseN and tarzan, aren't we? Yep. We definitely are. That H looks dangerously like a B already. Anyway, you're right. They are just looking to soften them up. I like that analogy. It's just going to be a question of what's going to be given to them, I think, more than what they can find. And Penta looking to just hold their ground. Holding the right angle. Spitty, oh, they have no idea. There should be a frag and a rifle. tarzan, in the meantime, did the same with his Deagle. All of a sudden, Flamey's just made himself known as well. This actually is going the way of Penta at this point, and that is a disaster, especially if they can get both of those weapons back in their hands. Doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Zeus does level the numbers, and straight back Spitty bites with his AK. And now just Guardian and Flamey. What has happened in this round?
So he's not able to find his third. The trades over the bomb sites as well. We haven't seen all of them, but Na'Vi actually find themselves at a deficit here. Hasn't worked out at A as well. The 5-7 positioning, I think it was from Spitty, was very, very good up on that boost spot now. Na'Vi's able to, so Flamey's able to take out Spitty, should I say, and we have a 2v2. All 4 players are at this A site now, and the bomb slowly being carried through our main. Yeah,
the rifles were taken away, though, so they are just down to a P250 and a USP, respectively. That is a big blow to Penta, and actually it all comes down to Crystal. Oh my god, he's done good damage! Takes the AWP and the bomb away! That's huge! He can't quite recover the weapon, but enough has been done. In fact, he does steal away the AWP, and it comes down to 1v1. Crystal has his favorite weapon, and he's going to be hunted down like a dog. He's not ready for this. Flamey just doing what Flamey does best. 3 very crucial rounds goes in, or frags rather, goes into kind of damage control mode as Na'Vi very, very narrowly could have lost out on that one.
Crystal succumbs to the temptation of picking up the AWP and is caught reloading it before the fight even happens.
Time expired. I didn't catch it. Penta won the round. What? Oh my god, I didn't even look at the clock.
Well, I don't know, shall we just move on?
Let's brush over that one. 4-1, Penta picking it up. Crystal was playing the waiting game, and we need to wake up a little bit.
Well, Molotov now to deny Guardian that position in mid. He's going to do a lot of damage from there, and you can see tabseN, I think it was, just rotating towards A slowly. Haven't seen a lot of Na'Vi yet in this round if you're Penta, so you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. The door opens at Squeaky there. Crystal in mid, might also add his strength towards his A site now, but Na'Vi haven't really shown a great proclivity in this round for pushing through that A. Bomb's still held back in mid. They're just taking their time, bit by bit.
Yeah, it's just kind of a question of clearing out that middle area for Guardian. He's been kind of relatively confident so far. And talking of confident, you can see, look at this stack. 3 members of Penta rather deep on towards the side. No one from Truck and Crystal is going to be watching his teammate fall. Tabson down and out thanks to Edwards and his Deagle. And Na'Vi, they are rocking 2 pistols as well, so I think Penta are no stranger to themselves. Now it's going to be that player from Squeaky that challenges. Spitty gets a double as Guardian bites back. And look at this, it's just going back and forth down to a 2v1 after Zeus has most definitely made it clear where he is. Gets that frag through middle, now being flashed and hunted down to 14. This is looking like a 5th potential round for Penta. And Na'Vi, they force straight on into this one. That's big for Penta. They recover the AWP and acquire an all-important 5th round. Na'Vi are going to be looking a little shaken with that one, down to just P250s at this point. And Penta starting strong on their CT side.
I mean, Guardian opting for an aggressive push up highway as well. Na'Vi knew that they had mid, but upon pushing to A, Penta traded into that one so well, and Guardian soon found himself completely on his own, released in that area. Tough to come back from that one now, of course. 5-1. Na'Vi showed promise with that first gun round coming up here, but well, Penta have been able to fight back.
I am seeing a match pause. Not sure if we've lost a man or we are just seeing a tactical one for Na'Vi, just catching their breath. I always question whether that's the wisest choice on a pistol, so let's just assume it's something else. But what we can kind of talk about is not only our timekeeping, but just Penta in general looking not too shabby. Spitty at the top of the scoreboard. I was worried that we may see a shadow of his former self now under the Penta banner once more, but no, seems to be continuing where he left off in Mouse Sports. There's
plenty of familiarity in this lineup for Spitty as well. Important to know. A lot of these guys as well are super familiar, have played with each other as well on multiple occasions. I mean, I'm enjoying seeing Tarson come into this lineup as well. You know, as a rifler as well, he's had some solid performance so far in this game. Penta seem to be able to shore up their bomb sites quite nicely. Happy enough to give up mid as well to Na'Vi and be confident
quite quickly.
that yeah, right. Absolutely. And they stacked 3 and 2 on A and B, and they just managed to hold that really, really nicely. So Na'Vi, you know, their first few rounds, they were always trying to punch onto the sites on their own. Let's see if they go for that single side approach again.
Yeah, of course, the one downside of kind of foregoing middle, which has kind of been the case ever since Tarson was taken down by Guardian, I think in that 3rd round bye, we did see a whole lot of kind of, I want to say like, problems with Zeus. Zeus has been the one kind of primarily pushing up mid-late. He's been finding a lot of frags fast. And talking of fast, look at them just charging straight on through into a main. Going to hopefully grabbing 1, if not 2. They flash themselves in, and that's going to be a whole lot of very blind terrorists. He gets 3 with his M4, gets 5, excuse me, 4. Shatters my dreams as it's Tabson who saves the day with the final one. But just mowing Na'Vi down in their unarmored, very kind of blind mouse state.
Great work from Spitty there as well. Obviously having to go to the P250 to get that final kill, but very aggressive from Penta. They're varying up their play a little bit here as well. Obviously knowing that Na'Vi were going to be on that eco, but they definitely made the right call there as well. Great push into A main. We'll have to see now what happens now at Na'Vi. They don't have an AWP here, of course, Guardian with the rifle, but plenty of nades for them as well, all armoured up. Got a decent buy, so we'll have to see now. Crystal is always poking B main early, and Strux now got himself in vents.
Yeah, kind of aggressive from them. 3 players stacked up towards B. Maybe expecting something different from Na'Vi. I actually quite like this from Penta. Changing up that 3 stack on A, now just 1 player on Spitty on A, with Tabson on highway and the rest just stacked up on B. I like this. Crystal aggressively peeking as well, expecting Na'Vi to try something different, and they're doing that straight back to them.
Na'Vi's still prioritising mid to a fair degree. Still flashes coming in there as well, and Strux is able to take down Zeus, and Crystal is still watching towards that B. Who will be the lone man in a sec, but oh, great shot as sees. Tarson crosses over and he managed to take his head off, but the revenge frag is there. It's a 3v3 now. Spitty rotates towards mid, finds Guardian. There's going to be more there for him, but Flamey is too good on the shot back.
Yeah, that's going to be then what was a 2v2, but Crystal finds his 2nd of the round, and it all then falls to Edward. Does have the bomb, does have time, 40 seconds, as he's looking to kind of make his way in towards B. He's playing like he hasn't checked the site and almost expecting no one to be on the site. This is very vulnerable. I'm not sure what on earth he's thinking. He's going to be able to catch Strux, who was just playing beautifully behind the box, and that's going to be an easy one then for the Penta player. 2 frags for him, 2 frags for Crystal in that round, and Penta find their 7th.
Well, definitely seemed like a little bit of a miscalculation for Na'Vi on that round to not expect that player to be there. And it's strange because they haven't really worked towards B that much at all this game so far. So maybe it would help if he dotted his I's and crossed his T's a little bit on his next go here. But Penta, they're getting themselves out nicely in front here. And Na'Vi, I mean, last night they didn't win, but they played pretty well. This is seeming a little bit different.
This is Na'Vi's cash, Mitch. This is, at this point, I mean, they have, you said already, a very kind of poor record on cash. And there's definitely no denying that they're not a team that favors that map. But you'd think by now they'd start to, you know, try something different. I say something different. This is nice from the T side. Are going to be completely smoking out, locking out what you would expect to be the CT side. But look at this from Spitty.
Great position, gets off of Red after getting that kill now. A lot of smoke over towards Squeaky Door. There are players filtering out of that now, and shots through the smoke for Penta. Strux takes out Edward. C's going straight towards Quad, but he gets shot in the face by Strux, and the bomb is on the ground as well. Zeus going down.
Now, Flamey. We saw what Simple could do from this position. I don't think he's going to be demonstrating the same, as it's going to be another for Penta, and quite a tidy one, just losing tabs in this time. It seems like Na'Vi aren't finding too much power with their Tech-9s this time, despite what they managed to do on Inferno just yesterday, and you can see there, 16 for Spitty. Well, I was going to say the new addition, but there are two of them. Of course, Tarsin as well, not doing too bad for himself, sitting on 7. Ex-Killerfish, a team that kind of, no stranger to the like ESL Meisterschaft, but nothing kind of past that.
No, I mean, they had great success in that, don't get me wrong, they're probably one of the top teams, but Tarsin getting his shot at more international exposure, I guess, now. And what do you do from if you're Na'Vi right now? Like, all of your attempts to really hit on towards those sites have been foiled. You've still been able to buy, you've been able to cobble together some stuff here. What do they go for?
It looks like they're going for a mid-play or a mid-pray. They're going to have to be praying to pick this one up, as it does look like they're going to be completely flashed out. Guardian going aggressive as well. He knows Crystal showed face, but Crystal has completely relocated to Connector. He got his Nikes on. And talking of Nike, Spitty has gone for a run of his own. First, he's identified the bomb, but also, if he plays this perfectly, I think Edward's actually holding a pretty favourable angle for him. Spitty on the way back, but Guardian's head has been destroyed by Kristen. He's now looking for 2. It's Spitty. Patience does not quite net him the reward he was after, as we find ourselves in a 3v3.
Oh, Flamey does take down Spitty, of course, but Strux responding on towards Seized here, and Zeus still on highway. This is Flamey caught up inside that Checkers room. Strux is low here, but he definitely knows exactly where to be looking, and Flamey is definitely surrounded here.
Yeah, that side play from Tarsin, just holding on the side very nicely, keeping his teammates safe. Strux the bait, and Crystal is going to be reeling in one for himself, because that's going to be Penta then close to double digits. Na'Vi having very little kind of, very little room to maneuver, it seems, at this point. Everything they try does seem to be thrown back in their face by Penta at this point. Trying that mid-stack thrown back by Crystal's early tag, and of course later frag onto Guardian. It does feel like they're kind of trying different pages, and every single page seems to be a bit of a flop.
It wasn't the first time that Zeus has been caught in no man's land in this game either, so Penta now aggressively pushing out on B as well. They've got 2 players there. Tarsin coming forward, just throw the nades for Seized at least. Take a chunk off him, and Tabson takes control of A main as well. Penta's starting to get aggressive, a little bit of confidence now. The cogs are starting to turn in this machine that maybe hasn't had too much oil in recent times. Their debut in the Pro League has been fantastic so far. Tarsin flashed in Sun room, as we call it.
Yeah, you're all right with that one.
I'm okay.
You're worried about
I know some of my call-outs are really really strange coming from Aussie CS, but...
Well, I mean, you've got like 9 diggities, right?
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Pretty much. And when people are just saying that over and over again really loud, yeah, it's can be really awkward. We call the auto sniper the Dak as well, but I digress here. Is Crystal looking towards mid? He's made a great shot last round towards Guardian there as well. Guardian is finding that his aggressive positioning is actually working against him in some of these scenarios, but Strux, he makes the push out of mid, but Zeus is there to meet him with a headshot.
Now Na'Vi are going to start to try and push where it hurts, and they're going to do just that. What? How is Spitty not dead? Babysat to some extent, but now he goes crazy, finds 2. And Na'Vi, battered and bruised, are going to be able to find that frag they needed on the side. Crystal now down, Orp now down, and it all falls to Tarsin, who location could not be more known. Yes, it's going to be a case of just molly for molly, as Edward scoops that one off his fallen comrade. And hang on a second, Tarsin, despite being
15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned that they're going to go on this bomb retrieval mission, but they know exactly where he is. They're going to try and get it. He's solo, 1 point of health. Tarsin's going to be kicking himself, but no, he found Flamey instead, and now he's done a good lot of the work for this final frag. It's just going to be Edward, as he just needs to find one more bullet. Gets it. Beautiful from Tarsin, as he gets 2 vital frags, as well as that defuse and the AWP if Crystal needs it. Very, very comfortable then for the Penta player, as they find 10.
He was definitely up against it, and I mean, obviously we still needed to see the bomb planted. There was 15 seconds left, but Tarsin held beautifully from that position as well. Some shots through the smoke, maybe a little bit fortunate, obviously, to take his opponent down to 1 health, but confidently pushing towards that side, taking it by the horns and getting the job done.
And in that pressure scenario as well, being aware of the bomb's location, the time, a lot of that kind of coming down to a little bit of experience, it seems, then, for him. As let's see then if Na'Vi can put a second on the board before the end of the first half.
Wow, man, Better late than never, I guess, now as Na'Vi set up yet again. Bomb to mid. Gonna leave it. Play something more default this time, and again, just try and make some picks and hope things don't go pear-shaped on them here, as Edward is the man on boost this time with the AK. Look towards Wade. Some shots coming out. He gets tagged heavily down to 14.
Yeah, and there is just a wall of Na'Vi. They quite literally just spread across the entirety of Cash, trying to find an entrance, and look who provides it. No surprises there. Flamey on to the All-Star, it seems. Spiddy sitting quite high on the scoreboard for Penta. Crystal, though, catches Seas through smoke. Seas has been the one man that they throw at B quite casually quite a few of these rounds, and Zeus, in the meantime, did find Tarsin. So, Na'Vi have the advantage, but they do not have any intentions to get that bomb down anytime soon.
They do have immense control over the A site right now, with Flamey, of course, in A long. Zeus is holding Highway. Well, Tabson has to do just this, push up with 8 health and hope to try and get a foothold on that A site, but no, Zeus is going to deny him that. And now Crystal trying to work through mid. Guardian's there, but Crystal takes his opposite number down. 2v3 situation. Crystal's going to aggressively push on this one.
Yeah, this is interesting. Edward was taking the bomb towards B until that frag. Now Crystal's making a whole lot of noise. You need to check quad, otherwise that's going to be one very dead AWP. He's down. And then falls to Strux. Can he follow in his teammates' footsteps? There was a 1v2 just the round prior for Penta. Now he has to do one better.
1v3 for the man now. The bomb is at A, of course, and Na'Vi will get that one down. So bit of pressure for the man. He's just going to work his way into A long. So the door will give his position away. He has to rely for a bit of a burst of bullets here and maybe cut things down to a 2v1 or even a 1v1. He's got to take these one at a time. Flamey also going to head towards Highway. Strux, you've got to weigh up your options right now. You've got to hope there's someone there at Forklift and you can pick them up, but time is running out. Strux has got to move now.
Yeah, he just wants to try and catch someone on the X, and he will do just that. Flamey not going to get the second, as it was Zeus to pick up the second for Na'Vi. Much needed then for them. 4 in that round for Zeus. Trying to live up to that godlike name, and I mean, he is sitting quite high on the scoreboard as well. Look at him go. 12 for him. Then you look at the bottom side. See, he's just picking up 2. He has been quite relentless in his pursuit of frags on B, and I think maybe it may be time to scratch that idea. All he's really found has been Crystal's AWP. Yeah,
I mean, Na'Vi clearly not firing on all cylinders right now. It's seeing Seized all the way down there with only 2 frags to his name after 12 rounds. Definitely tells some of the story here for Na'Vi, and they're just not winning some of those 1v1s, and they're not trading into these sites effectively at all. So let's see what Guardian can see if he can open things up here as he is warping out from B-Main. Crystal usually likes to poke there, but this time was Tarsin going for a bit of a strafe, and here comes Na'Vi. They're going to push in towards this one. Flashes going straight in towards that site. Smoke up as well. They're going to push, but Strux is there to meet Zeus. We're about to get a second. Flamey backs up. I don't know why he didn't know that Strux would be there, and he'll get 2 for his trouble.
A little bit of a miscommunication potentially, absolutely. But the bomb is loose, and oh, Guardian is on the hunt. He knows there's going to be at least one man on that side. He goes to look towards headshot, takes one into the body of Spiddy, and now Tarsin is the man to try and keep this site safe. Crystal, in the meantime, was doing work, and now Na'Vi just have to operate with just one. Another, this time for Tabson. Guardian has to go crazy now. 1v3 necessary in order to tick off round 3 for the CIS team. That is Vincere. He is going to be hunting now on towards Tarsin. He caught a glimpse through headshot, plays it beautifully. Very smart from him. And I think he's only been tested about 2 or 3 times, if I kind of roll my mind back, on B, but every single time he's kept it under control.
Very dependable right now. There's no doubt about it. He's just getting it done. 11 and 5 as well is definitely nothing to turn your nose up at. Guardian, again, unable to make ends meet, unable to connect the shots as well. And he always seems to be, in that role, the last guy on the map as well, but it's super, super hard to work in that kind of situation, and the pressure starts to build up. Penta 11 and 2 over Na'Vi. It's a huge lead now as we head into our 14th round, and a couple more rounds on Penta. Well, they're laughing already, to be honest. It's a great start to this game.
Yeah, for sure, and Na'Vi kind of demonstrating that they can still struggle on cash against the team here, very recently formed, very fresh, and off the back of a recent loss as well. And as you highlighted, in the meantime, though, Tabson has dealt with Flamey. Edward bites back with his deagle, but look at the damage done to him as well. He's down to 5. That molly could very well be the end of him. It is, as there is a fried Edward lying in Squeaky. And now the remaining members of Na'Vi are actually kind of leaving and lingering with that bomb towards middle. Not yet willing to commit. I think that decision's going to be made for them, though, as Zeus does get taken out of the running.
Tarsin coming forward there on B does manage to secure that kill. We do see the Spiddy was quite low on Highway here, so no more little tricky pokes to mid for him for the moment. Cease forced to back away, only with the Galil in hand, and Guardian gone through vents. A great shot towards Strux in heaven. Can he make the second on towards Tarsin? He has to navigate this one expertly here. As Cease wants to join him, he has to connect though over towards Tarsin in Sunroom. He's going to push this one with the Galil out, and he does pick him up. 2v2 now. Penta have the tools. They've got a grenade, they've got a flash on them as well. And Spitty trying to hold from heaven. Such an aggressive position for someone so low, and Cease will take him down.
They really trusted Cease in this one, gave him the Galil. It was the only rifle in play for Na'Vi, and now Crystal is pushing straight on in. He's going on the aggress. Guardian takes him down, and Na'Vi finding a much-needed round in the ashes of a buy. I mean, they had very little, just the Galil and armor for Cease. Very few real rifles in play. I just think it was pistols for the majority of the rest. And now that's going to put them in fantastic stead to pick up this final round. Look at Penta's money.
2 apiece there for Cease and Guardian in that round. Those two really put it on their backs. It was a great push over towards the B side as well. Some very tentative situations they navigated quite nicely. 15th round coming up here. Obviously, Penta now pushed on towards their pistols. Deagles for all, or at least most of them. Armor as well, and some grenades. Let's see what they can do with it.
I like this from Spitty. He is looking to just get an early pick. Try and cut them down. Not going to happen. He does get away safely. It was a question of just trying to give him some sort of early advantage, but no. Na'Vi are just going to shred them. 3 very swift frags, and now the remaining members of Penta are going to be meeting out an all too familiar fate, or not. Strux onto Cease. It was AKV P250, and looks like the P250 was enough. But with the bomb down, I think Na'Vi are well and truly aware that this will be their 4th. They've got a lot to think about, though, going into that second half. 11-4 for Penta, a very sterling start for the German roster. And it's going to be coming down to what Na'Vi then can turn around on their defensive side. Yes, Penta are going to have to come to them, but I'm not going to lie, for me, Mitch, it's all eyes on that pistol. Absolutely.
This is going to be very, very important. Na'Vi need some momentum heading into this next half. I mean, losing the Pental, obviously, you could see that on the score, but it's going to put Na'Vi in a very dangerous position. But the fact of the matter is, going back into the last half, Na'Vi are losing buy round after buy round after buy round. Quite simply, they're just being outplayed there as well. They're not trading into bomb sites effectively. Guardian, well, he's trying to play aggressively. He's trying to open things up here as well, but he's being caught very frequently by, by Tarsin, and especially, of course, his opposite number in Crystal. So I'm interested to see if there's maybe a change of paradigm as Na'Vi approaches the next half.
And here we go then. It's going to be our second half kicking off. Can Penta start with a bang? A win against Na'Vi would be a very nice little feather for their cap to start off their Pro League debut. And so, kicking this one off. Let's see how Na'Vi choose to structure this one. And actually, armor Kevlar across the board is their decision for this CT side. Penta, quite similar, really. Just the utility in the hands of Strux and Crystal, as they're going to be looking to try and forge a path onto a site. Early damage is done. It's Tabson down to 64. And they're going to be, oh my god, damage just fighting back. Actually, Guardian pushing up aggressively, and it's going to cost him.
Yeah, one to the head for him. Not what he wants at this stage of it. Tarsin now pushing aggressively towards Zeus.
How is he in there?
Not sure, actually. Firing that Glock off like crazy.
What?
But he does eventually get the better of him there as well. Tarsin so aggressively pushing forward there.
Can we look at Tarsin for a second?
He just took down Edward as well. He's going so deep right now, but now Flamey trying to do some work from Sunroom. Does manage to take down Spitty. Tarsin stuck past him, but he's keen to make amends for that one there as Tabson drops to Cease in the mid. We've got a 2v2 here, Alex. And Tarsin goes where he pleases, clearly.
Tarsin must have gone through vents, through checkers, out towards their CT spawn. Behind Flamey and Guardian, who are still in Sunroom. Crazy stuff. As this does slow down then. 45 seconds. The bomb loose, and it does come down to Penta. But look how aggressive Na'Vi are. Cease pushed up as well. They have really got to be cautious here, and I don't know whether it's something that Penta are expecting.
Cease knows. There's some movement there through mid. So we know Tarsin's probably on the move.
Ooh.
With that bomb, going to head towards A, and it's a great idea, of course. No one really at A at the moment, but this could be a bit tough here. Strux might get caught rotating through. Cease can hear him. He's going to have the shot set.
He does, and he does not fluff his lines. Important from Seized. Crucial frag, and falls down to a half-health Tarsin in order to acquire this round. He did it before. See if he can do it again.
B2K. Let's see if it's going to be enough for him now, as we're going to have Na'Vi coming from multiple different directions. That's a big hit towards Tarsin now, and Cease to come around the corner. Tarsin cannot connect. And Na'Vi start things off like they would have hoped. 4
for Seized in that round. An incredible play from him with the P2K, just slaughtering what was a nice plan from Penta, or a nice play from Tarsin. I'm going to have to try and see exactly how he went so unnoticed. He went into checkers, had a little bit of an exchange, then proceeded to push all the way to get that early frag towards, you can see on the map there, top left, he's all the way getting the frag there on towards Edward at CT, while his teammates are mowing them down elsewhere. So, strong start for Na'Vi. They needed that pistol round, otherwise things could have got a little bit out of control, and Penta not opting for the Kevlar into the second round.
Oh, we do see it, of course, Deagle here, P2K, and of course, Sorry, P250 should I say, and a Tech 9 here for Penta. Let's see what they can do with this one now. Does imply a little bit of aggression as they are heavily grouped towards that mid.
Now, just all actually grouped towards mid. You weren't lying. Not one man really straying from the path. It's going to come down to Edward. I can see I can see dollar signs in his eyes. This could go horribly wrong for Penta. They are at risk of this, of course. 2 SMGs in play for Na'Vi, and they're going to be looking to connect as much as they can with it. It's Zeus who crawls from behind. Flamey follows suit. That's 3 Penta members fall in very quick succession. And now it's just Tarsin and Strux who are reeling from that aggressive play. And doesn't look like it's going to be an ace for Na'Vi, as Tarsin does provide us with some Deagle plays. I don't think my heart can take too much more with the Deagle, and it is just going to be falling there to Strux. He knew he was low, wasn't able to clinch that one, and that's going to be then the second.
Na'Vi now putting them together. It's been a good start for them on this half. The pistol, of course, was where it all started. They managed to put that one together now, and of course, you can see Na'Vi starting to wake up just a little bit more. Penta now can buy.
Yeah, thanks to that plant. That plant in the first round was crucial from Tarsin. And, I mean, the aggressiveness from Na'Vi did kind of cause a little bit of a slip up, which enables this round to buy. And they're not looking too shabby. It does come down to what Tarsin can do with his nades and how Penta choose to structure this one. There's an aggressive play from presence from Na'Vi. It's Edward who has pushed up, and I'm not too sure how well this could play out. They are stacking up heavily. They're expecting a whole lot in middle, and Penta just quite reminiscent of what Na'Vi were doing at the start of their T rounds.
You can see 3 in mid for Na'Vi right now. Edward, Guardian, of course Zeus out. Could be a boost here as well. Could be looking straight towards Strux, who maybe none the wiser at this stage with Tabson. Look at him, sitting back, waiting for that shot. Does take down Guardian. That's a key element of Na'Vi's attack. The Spearhead being taken out of the equation now. Smoke continues to billow out of mid, and Edward looking for an opportunity to get in there. He does take down Tarsin, maybe he biting off a little bit more than he could chew. Edward just going to duke it out here in mid, but Tabson and Crystal combining very nicely. Only 2 players left for Na'Vi here, and they are split across the map.
I mean, this is a big test for Flame. He's surely only going to get 1, if that. Crystal with a whisker of health, just 6 left for him, but his heart's still beating. C's probably not going to be the same case for him. 23 points of health and a dream against 4.
Bomb goes down. Care of Tabson. C's just hold up in mid right now. Eyes towards the A side. 3 players already stacked up on B for him to go through as well. It's going to be a very, very difficult situation for him to navigate.
He's just crossing his fingers, crossing his toes, and trying to get something away from Penta, as well as keeping his life in this one. I think actually Strux isn't going to check it. That's going to be exactly what the doctor ordered. Doesn't even go for the exchange. Oh, okay, seized. Be still, my beating heart. That does mean they know exactly where he is. He's going to go for a second one, throwing his rifle to the wind and making a very minor impact into the Penta money.
Yeah, I mean, he took one off Penta, sure, but losing his own there. Bit of a fluff there. You could actually see him after that shot. A bit of frustration in the mouse movements. Of course, now we have 12-6. Penta with their first round of the half here on that bye. Obviously, after getting their bomb plant in the second round, definitely helped them a lot here. Let's see how Na'Vi respond to this one as well. They must keep Penta down. They can't let them really gain too much momentum, too much confidence. Zeus and Guardian going to go for Deagles. Only Zeus with armor, though. Yeah,
so it does seem like Penta have found some traction early into the second half. It's much needed if they want to be able to pick up this win. I don't want to dub it a surprise win, but an unlikely win, considering their newly formed state and, of course, their opponents. As if we're not mentioning the map. Molly thrown out. They are trying to clear out mid. It's going to be Seized, who's forced out of position. You can see he is going to try and flash his way out, try and make an impact in middle. He does catch a glimpse of one, and actually doesn't choose to take it. As it is just going to be Zeus who has armor, and he's going to take in a bit of a beating. Crystal just shooting fish in a barrel, and those fish are continuing to fall. Guardian and Flamey then left with. This is going to be 13 for Penta. Unlucky for some, but just 3 away from 16.
Absolutely, he's getting very, very close. For Na'Vi, though, Flamey gets cheeky shots on towards Tabson. We'll be able to dispatch of him there. Crystal, just Crystal things as usual. Trying to jump down on top of him there as well. 13-6. We're getting close to that magic number here, and Penta must be pinching themselves right now as well. Na'Vi, we didn't want to overstate the impact of this being Cache and this not being a map they really like, but it's clear to see that there's something missing from the equation for Na'Vi.
Yeah, and there has been for a long time, and let's see if Penta continue to push where it hurts. I have a horrible feeling that they could get ahead of themselves, and let's just see if that does come into fruition, because they're going for something different. Look at this, straight towards B. It's going to come down to Crystal finding an entry once that smoke does clear out, and that's if they even choose to wait for that defensive smoke thrown out by the CTs. They are making it relatively clear that there were numbers on B, but in fact, they've changed their minds. And instead, going back to that default, keeping the bomb way back, waiting for some aggression from the Na'Vi boys.
Yeah, they're just trying to poke and prod at Na'Vi right now and get them in some disadvantageous positions. Edward has a UMP there, so he's not exactly kitted out. Not a heck of a lot of utility for Na'Vi right now as well. They are definitely scrabbling funds together to try and mount a comeback here. But PENTA slowly moving towards A. And through mid as well. We see Tarsin was going to go towards long. He is bringing back a little bit now. Crystal, aggressive as always. Going to be coming forward here with the AWP in hand and see what he can sort of dig out. He goes for a cheeky one through the smoke, but sees he's up in that little boost spot as well. He must be careful of that position.
Yeah, I think Crystal's lucky to be getting away completely unscathed from that one. As PENTA have 40 seconds. The clock is going to be starting to go against them if they do not find some leeway anytime soon. Bomb still loose. Crystal just double checking exactly to its location, and you can see the Na'Vi numbers are so flexible right now. 2A, 1 mid, and 2B. Finally, some bloodshed. It's 2 for PENTA. That's big. Molly forcing Flamey out of position. This B side's going to be vulnerable, and it all comes at once. Now then, down to Guardian. He has only found 1 on B, but that's all he's going to be given as Tarsin does connect. And now all of a sudden, Na'Vi are down to just 1. Very, very nice from PENTA. They did not make their intentions to be clear until the last second.
Seas has to save. He doesn't really have any option here to go forward. Na'Vi spent a lot of what they had left on that round. You can see economically next round is not going to be great for them. And it was a great push towards B as well. Great burst play from PENTA. You know, as soon as they set up, they spent a lot of that round just gaining valuable information. And then bam, straight out the gates, perfect Molotov and smoke cover towards that B
Yeah, and that's also a demonstration of the power of mid on Cash, or Cache. I'm going to go ahead and go for Cache this time, yeah. just embracing some Australian roots that may be hidden there. But hang on a second. Seas is going to potentially lose his rifle. He makes it clear where he is. He comes to a 1v1. Fortunately, he is the one to thrive. But saving his rifle aside, you saw how quickly they were all sitting around red container, kind of lingering towards middle. Nothing too much said from PENTA, and then you blink and you miss it. They're through, they're into checkers, and those picks are starting to come in on B. That is the power of mid, and that's why Na'Vi put so much emphasis on their T side in gaining control of middle.
Absolutely, the set play is executing really, really nicely here. Na'Vi, well, they're just going to force up here. We see 2 scouts and a UMP on Guardian. Seas will at least have the M4, of course, that he saved. Flamey on the FAMAS. A couple flashes here and there, but definitely nothing to be writing home about. They are just trying to push the envelope here, get some money in their pockets and try and hang on. Flamey, inside checkers here. No aggressive pushes this time from PENTA towards B. They've got 2 players there. Tarsin and Crystal, obviously over on the A long side of things, just holding the push. Na'Vi, what's going on?
This is going to be a very, very last-ditch effort then from Na'Vi, as PENTA have made this one look easy. All onto Flamey, and there's absolutely no hope in hell. They put everything into this round. This does look like PENTA have started with a bang, and Flamey is going to be taken down just after the 1. Spiddy responsible for that. And, I mean, Na'Vi got no money. PENTA, so much room to maneuver, and this very well could be a 16-6. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. 2 FAMAS, a Mag-7, a Deagle, and an M4 are what's going to be brought to this battle for Na'Vi in order to survive here in their first game of 3 in the Pro League.
They're going to use those guns, and they're even going to try and use the packing pellets they came with. Of course, Zeus with the Deagle. Oh, let's just see if they can make something happen here now. I think it was aggression that cost them last time. Tarsin, was that through smoke?
That most definitely was.
Lovely. On towards Edward there, just completely takes him out of it. And that's just going to add insult to injury if you're Na'Vi right now. Throwing their hands up in the air, Edward, as he sits back in his chair, looks on as the rest of your team try and make something out of this round.
And Tarsin picking up that kind of early pick and then just immediately throwing it back to Crystal's hands. Good already to see positive confidence in others with the AWP, and the damage just keeps getting done. Now all down to Seas, and PENTA most definitely have done it. Tarsin is again responsible for that frag, picks up 2 to end that one, and it looked like it was going that way for a while, Mitch. We refused to immediately believe it, immediately believe that, you know, the PENTA had brought something strong to this day and to this game. Good to see their debut in the Pro League.
The pizza Borchin hype train has begun.
Yeah, slightly. Yeah. Very, very slightly. So yeah, that's going to be a really enthralling start, I think, to what's going to be an even more enthralling day of CS. And you can just look there at upper balcony. That's some metal work. And here's us. There we go. I wanted to make eye contact with you. That's all. That's what I wanted to do in order to just quickly kind of touch on what we learned from that game. First up, it has to be that Navi's cash is still I was going to think of a rhyming word, but I can only think of nasty ones.
Well, it's looking weak. Oh, if you want to rhyme, that's fine.
That's what I was trying, yeah. I was trying something special, but it didn't work. But yeah, no, it's still really less than ideal.
Yeah, definitely. I think Na'Vi, they tried a myriad of different approaches as well to these bomb sides. And you've got to hand it to PENTA as well, keeping a really cool nerve. And we don't have a great deal of information on I guess, what they've been up to in the last few weeks now, of course, leading up to their first game. But it seems like, obviously, the addition of Tarsin and Spitty seems to have worked out too very, very well. I mean, I'm seeing those two players as well featuring in some nice little highlights of that game.
Yeah, I mean, we have already seen quite a fair few highlights, and Tarsin right at the final round throwing out a shot through smoke to guide his team to victory. I want to see more of Tarsin, I think. That's going to be the motto of that one. Spitty, I know the man can play. We saw crazy stuff from him in Mouse Sports. Tarsin, a little bit more of a stranger to the limelight, and looking forward to seeing more from him as this league does progress. More games on the way, though, folks, and we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of time to talk about what's coming up next. It's going to be Titan versus Na'Vi. While we have some time, Mitch, how much have we seen from the new Titan with Scream? Like, for me, the first game I casted with new Scream was yesterday, and I saw a little bit of both sides.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot, to be honest. We really haven't. I mean, yesterday was not a great demonstration of the ability of Titan in general. I mean, there will be a settling time, as there is with all these players. And obviously, we often see these French players who are usually juggling players in between them as well, and maybe that might reduce that time somewhat there. But, I mean, it was very, very tough. It seemed like Fnatic just felt very comfortable against them. They seemed like they weren't pressured into making any mistakes. They dictated the flow and pace of the game, and JW just got to flow like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
Yeah, I mean, all of them did, really. I mean, they played 3 games yesterday and only managed to pick up 1 win. This is going to be important for them then. We see Na'Vi are maybe going to be not in the best mindset after that Cash game. Like, we've tried something different on Cash, still doesn't work. Or maybe they're just like, we can veto it normally, we don't care about Cash. Whatever their mindset, they are going to be going up against the French team Titan over on Overpass. Looking forward to seeing how that one unfolds and to see if Titan can do better than their Fnatic result of just 2 rounds on that very map. We're going to find out answers to all of those questions, guys, after this.
See how these teams get off to a start. Last time Na'Vi played this map, it was against TSM last week, and they lost 16-10. And also Titan actually back on the 6th of October lost to TSM 16-5. So both these two teams have fallen foul of the TSM on this map. But let's jump into the knife round here and see what Titan can do after an average night last night.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. You did touch on Scream, and of course, there is a very popular thread on Reddit now where someone highlighted his game yesterday against Envy over in the Face It League. He had a 95% headshot rate. 95%! Unheard of, really, unless you Scream. And that's not like he only got 1 kill and it was a headshot or something stupid like that. 22 kills, 95% headshot rate. That's absolutely crazy, and we'll see if he can kind of match that in this one up against the boys over at Na'Vi. We did see the knife go the way of Shox, who managed to pick up those 2 last knives, and it's going to be Titan then who have the choice of where they want to start.
Absolutely there. So, I mean, how important is this now, of course? I mean, talking about, you know, how much is that knife round meaning now, of course, with Titan starting on the CT side, because this could be the monkey on their back of Fnatic just belting them last night.
This is exactly what happened. They won the knife against Fnatic. They got the CT side. I know you always kind of count that as a win on Overpass, especially it's a side that definitely is favored here on Overpass, but Fnatic kind of blew that out of the water yesterday. Let's see if Na'Vi can follow in their shoes. Either way, though, jumping on into this one. Distinct lack of nades for Na'Vi, just going for the full armor, even a Tech 9 on Flamey. So he's going to be the, well, it's been dubbed Raid Boss. He's going to be the tank at the front line. Definitely looking to draw some Titan blood.
And on the Titan side, only 2 players with armor here, Shox and Scream. 5-7 in the hands of RPK and Existence, and you can see they've poured themselves down towards mid, towards that plaza, and actually Existence has gone into connector here, and they're awaiting to see where Na'Vi's going to push on this one as well. Looks like a little bit of a set play towards A. Some smokes are coming out. Na'Vi readying themselves for some kind of push.
I like what Cease is doing here. He is going to be able to catch at least 1 out the door. Oh, not! Existence swings and finds him, and Scream in the meantime does exactly the same with his P2K. Oh, even anticipating one behind him. Zeus is going to be kicking himself as Na'Vi finally finds some sort of legroom, That's 3! What was that? Edward and Guardian come alive, and now they have to find the final 2 players from Titan. That was such a stabilizing play.
Shox trying to sneak there through. Ready does go towards Edward on walkway, as we call it now. Guardian going to make his way in towards Pipes. Oh my lord, that was some impressive stuff. Now, just the last man for Na'Vi here. Does have to deal still with the 5-7 in the hands of Existence, and of course Shox will be waiting for them now with a bit of armor. Definitely not an easy situation to navigate here. Shox got himself set up in Sniper. Existence in Pit. I'll just wait for some sound cues here, I'm sure. But look at Guardian, though. He will go down. Existence. What a great round from the man. Some beautiful work with the pistol. And Titan started off strong.
Na'Vi, they definitely kind of forced Titan to get back on their toes, swarming into the site, and we did actually see, I mean, this anticipation from Scream, immediately thinking, hang on a second, they're going to be rotating, just flings his aim back around 180 and does catch Zeus down. That was astounding, especially considering that quick calculation, like, hang on, he's going to be rotating through mid, they're going to have pushed up, we weren't present, and manages to catch a Na'Vi man off guard. Now that we are going to be forcing into this one, it's going to be quite symmetrical down the board, just a Deagle being ruined, that Tech 9 train by Guardian. And they do have a whole lot of smokes between them. They're going to be looking to try something different here against a whole lot of SMGs.
Double P90 here for Titan, and they love to set up on this one here. I just said, a lot of Tech 9s for Na'Vi. They're actually splitting more towards Upper Park, actually, and going the long way through mid. Existence, though, will be waiting there. Look at this perfect positioning for the man. Will he be able to catch on? He hears some sounds. Those sound cues are coming out strong, but it's a bit of a damned if you do or damned if you don't moment for him to push right now. He has relayed that information back to his team. Smith's going to back right up towards the truck. Titan are just going to let Na'Vi take some ground. I hope to pounce and set the trap.
Does throw out his flash and in hope of catching someone along. And actually, this is perfect. He's going to be able to find Flame. He doesn't find the frag just yet, though, but the bomb's loose. And Shox is there to save the day. And Tyler's going to go ahead and start piling them up now. Just 2 more bodies for the pile. It's going to be Seized and Edward. And actually Seized, if he's a bit cautious with his footsteps, he could come around and catch it. Again, Scream!
Dude.
Well and truly aware of that flank. And is going to keep all 5 members standing then for Titan. Very neat, very tidy. And that's going to be a big contrast to that first round where we saw those 3, like that flurry of frags between Guardian and Edward.
Crosshair always at head height, that man. Brilliant stuff there in that round. Really, really, really nice there. It was a good combination as well with the players as they sort of dealt with the push from bench and out from Upper Park as well. Na'Vi still waiting, obviously, for their buy. They have to go through this pistol again, buying nothing but a P2K on Guardian. Not really extending any further than that.
They are going to be, again, seizing this control. This is what we talked about as a typical CT side.
P250, goddammit.
And there we go. It's going to be Existence this time to mow them down. They're unarmored, and that P90 does exactly what it does best. 3 for him in that one, and now it's just going to be Seized, who's just once again living on a bit of a prayer to try and pick this something out of this one with just the Glock. But Titan, they've got their initial 3. It's more than they picked up against Fnatic already. Let's not forget, 16-2 was the final scoreline against Fnatic. Now, 16-3 is the only possibility. They have done one better than yesterday already.
Gotta feel good to already have improved on your final performances. But Titan cannot be satisfied with just this as the first buy comes in here for Na'Vi. We are seeing those flashes and armor being added to those AKs, and this is where it counts. Titan,
Observer is correct.
Have kept with those initial buys. We still see Existence and Scream with those P90s now against armored foes. I'll be interested to see how this one transpires.
This is especially RPK. P90 I can sometimes understand. Get right, most definitely can understand. Scream actually flashes himself. RPK there to hold his hands. RPK, if you can do damage with an MP9, I'm going to be very surprised. There it is. That's 1. That's 2. That's a whole lot of money, and that's a whole lot of Na'Vi dead. 2 down. Now they have just 3 to work with, and this SMG risk has most definitely netted them a whole lot of reward. 1,200 extra for RPK as well as a shot at a 4-0 scoreline.
Pulling the rug out from underneath Na'Vi there with their push. Just, how do you recover from that one now? Shell-shocked, of course. Flamey is just trying to set himself up there towards Canal. And RPK, we're waiting for Zeus to push him now. Does have the AK in hand, but it's not going to be enough to do the job now in construction. Flamey wants to push sandbags. 1 player for Titan on the site. Some rotations coming through as well as a Molotov. Makes Zeus's feet a little bit crispy.
Yeah, now, I mean, this is where those SMGs are going to come back to bite them. Scream, fortunately, does find Zeus, and it is going to be level in terms of numbers. Not necessarily Arsenal. A UMP for Smiths is not going to make this retake the easiest. And the flash onto Edward is fortunate. But Smiths has still got a little bit of ground to cover. He's going to be coming through short, but fortunately, Scream just finding a hedge out of nowhere. Through the wall, it's going to be Edward then who equalizes. Back and forth we go. This round has been topsy-turvy, upside down, and now it comes down to Scream. Another for him. 3 in that round. RPK found the other 2 with the MP9 not so long ago. And Titan doing a fantastic job in securing that 4th round. Off the back of SMGs, no less. Look at the money. We see 10K in the pocket of Smith. Scream not too far behind. And that's going to be a very scary Titan, and look at that. They are looking to continue to get extra money in the bank, following RPK's lead because of the unarmored Na'Vi they're expecting.
That's right, rebuying the MP9, knows he doesn't need to invest too deeply in anything else to deal with Na'Vi at this stage. And they are back to a bit of a force here, of course. Tech9's coming out as well. Guardian has a P250 to get it right this time. Flamey with a Deagle here as well. Scream there, just going to throw that preemptive smoke out there towards Canal. It just sits tight now, and well, Titan can just bide their time, definitely. Smith's obviously set up here in Connector. And Na'Vi are just sitting back towards Ali, taking their time here. They know they want to go to B, at least for the most part. Unless Zeus can open something up here at Park.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually commit to that call on B. This is actually what Fnatic's T-side looked like. They'd start like this, and then those two prongs, those two, Edward and Zeus, would start the hunt through Connector towards toilets, and, you know, maybe if they continue to see that clock fall down, once those rotates from the CTs do come in, we could very well be seeing that bomb move. But right now, you're right, C's digging his heels on towards that monster. It's going to come down to what Shox can do here, but then again, Existence and Shox, beautiful crossfire, and the dreams of an A push are going to be dashed as that little overextension from Na'Vi is going to... Oh, hang on a second, connection through smoke. Flamey does bring Scream down to 36. Nothing more to come of that one, though. And I think Na'Vi realized that they don't quite have the arsenal for what they were trying.
Vice versa, of course. Flamey took quite a lot of damage in response through that smoke, and it's just forced him on back. Only seized with armor at this stage as well. Whoa, now he's dead. So Smith there, great push with the MP9, just straight towards the head as well. Very, very accurate with that one. And Existence will finish that one. Put Na'Vi out of their misery for that round. And again, Na'Vi continuing trends of letting this first buy, their first few rounds just fall by the wayside. But here's another chance for them. Time to buy up again. Guardian has the AWP in hands right now. Even some armor.
Don't you dare. No, RPK.
Really?
And Smiths, they're sitting pretty on a whole lot of money, and they're still doing it. What on earth?
Give themselves a buffer, why not?
It just feels BM. They're going up against a Guardian AWP. They've got Na'Vi full bought, and they're sticking with 3 SMGs. Okay, catch my breath. Let's see where they can go with this one. Again, going a bit of aggressive. It's going to be them trying to challenge out C. It's not going to happen. Oh, I say that for one, but unfortunately RPK trades out with the MP9. That's right, folks. Your eyes are not deceiving you. And let's see if this round can continue to go towards the French. Bomb loose, and actually they're getting a whole lot of intel through Shox, who's pushed up a whole lot. And look, in the meantime, RPK gets his second. He's been so influential so far in this game.
Huge word from him. And for Shox, sometimes no information is a lot of information. He's seeing nothing here towards that T-spawn, so he knows Na'Vi's setting up more towards Park here. Flamer, they might challenge him in a second, but Edward, Guardian, of course, they're looking towards Bank here. Shox. They want to make their way towards A. Flamey actually backing up. He may have run into Shox, but he's now going to rejoin the rest of his team. But Na'Vi have to make a pick. They have to make an entry through bench towards A main. Existence might have something to say about that one. Perched in the corner there with that P90. And we're just inching his way towards his site. Got to be nervous about this one. You've got no idea what you could potentially be going up against.
Yeah, and I think RPK's about to do some insane damage coming from behind. Guardian did not see that one coming. He's put his MP9 to bed, picked up an AK, and they've gone and done it again. 4 for RPK in that round, living up to the RPK tank title. And that is mind-boggling. Using 3 SMGs. Look at the money indeed. They're all breaching 10k bar Shox. And I think, dare I speak too soon, Uber shouts, we could be seeing a full rifle buy for Titan. The first of its kind.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact that RPK and Existence have opted now for those AKs.
Just scavenging them.
Yeah, I mean, well, they didn't really need to buy them. Why buy when you can take them off your opponents? Na'Vi going for the second tactical pause of the night. Last time, didn't really work out the way they would have liked it to. Penta seemed unperturbed by that sort of, the stop in their momentum. They seem to be able to build it up again easily enough here. I tell you what, Na'Vi, I don't know what's going on. Maybe Titan just approaches this map like, you know what, screw overpass. We don't really like it. We're just going to buy troll weapons and see what works. But so far, now, some hope must be budding for them as well. We're thinking, all right, well, maybe they're smelling blood in the water as well, with Na'Vi already falling to Penta. Maybe a sign of weakness. Maybe they're the prowling lion and this is the injured gazelle of the pack, Na'Vi.
Potentially. I mean, on Overpass, you wouldn't expect that. They're more of a predator. I mean, 11-6 win record on this map in the last 3 months. They're definitely a team that are no stranger to Overpass, and they've definitely got their own kind of tricks up their sleeve, especially on the T side normally. I remember, you know, cast my mind back to the last time I saw them on Overpass, and I remember a whole lot of kind of B executes. There'd be a lot of strategies surrounding out fast and slow B plays. Not seen so much of them this time. And maybe just more more patience needs to be required. We haven't seen the kind of signature, or what was once signature Na'Vi kind of running the clock down, which can work quite well over on Overpass. So we'll keep our eyes peeled and see what it is that they bring to the fray. I think that is the question now. It's not so much what Titan are doing, because what they're doing right now is working. This over-aggression, I say over-aggression, excuse me, the aggression, it's not over-aggression because it's most definitely working towards middle, towards connector, towards water.
And we're talking about what Na'Vi are doing, what they need to do now. All eyes are on Flamey as well, because I hyped him up as the counterpoint to Scream, you know, coming up against Flamey. Nothing for him yet, has yet to really get that frag as well. So it's been tough for him, only the 1 assist. So he really needs to wake up, needs to start making an impact here. But the Molotovs are coming in. That one went towards Sandbags, and it looks like Na'Vi, again, not pushing too hard on towards B, that they're setting up there, tentatively at least. Titan canny for this one here. You can see Galil being bought off for Zeus, so it's definitely not a full bought Na'Vi at all.
And that Molotov was all because of RPK. All of that early presence towards peeking that short tunnel, all of that would cause that Molotov to be thrown out. And you can see RPK has indeed been slowed down just a little bit, playing Pillar now. And Na'Vi, in the meantime, do look like they're starting to turn their attention to the opposite site, despite Guardian and Flamey keeping them busy.
Connector is an option for them now. They've been able to use it. They've come through, and here's C's now heading in towards toilets. A lot of gunfire happening on B side, and since in existence are just sitting back, waiting for a push towards him. RPK, though, he's going to take the initiative and push out towards Guardian. He gets a second. Flamey hits the deck. He almost looks like he could have made it a third there, but this aggression from him in short bursts is just putting Na'Vi not on tilt, but they just can't stabilize.
Yeah, there's very little that they can do about that. I mean, Guardian, he went aggressive. He was desperately trying to find that presence towards water, but not this time. And again, Na'Vi have to operate at a loss. And I said, you know, where's that low clock? Here it is, 24 seconds, and the bomb is not down. They are going to start committing towards A, but Titan are ready. They've got 4 players lying in wait, and Shocks is going to start, and it looks like the rest are going to finish. Zeus then with just a Galil towards Optimus. RPK says no. Can he find another? Not going to be needed, as Existence does the work for him. He got 3 in the round again. RPK at the top of the scoreboard alongside Existence. Both of them are 19 frags between them. That's insane. And you look at that, that's actually almost more frags than the entirety of Na'Vi combined.
Well, it is.
I mean, it is.
It is straight up more. Yeah. I mean, you know, Flamey almost channeling his inner James Bond there as well down the bottom. Look, I mean, volatility, when you talk about that a team being volatile, can actually be a good thing here. Titan are making such aggressive pushes and little bursts that Na'Vi don't really know how to react to them. They seem to be very much caught off guard by them there. RPK, when he's being let off the leash, is just wreaking havoc over at B. And he's able to rotate through and do damage later on. But Na'Vi now, again, they're working a little bit more towards mid now, more towards Connector. Guardian on towards Smiths as he does work along.
Okay, this is something a bit quicker from Na'Vi, and I think Existence is anticipating that instead. Not going to give them restrooms for free. He's pushed up and he's playing the smoke. He could play it so well. This is great. Escapes through the smoke like a slithery snake. Not going to get the second, though. In the end, it's going to be seized who responds finally. And it does look like Na'Vi turned up the heat, picked up the pace, and this could very well be #1 on the board.
Oh, I'll tell you what, tell you what, RPK gets a lovely double there towards Season Flame. He just picks him out of the barrel and makes it a 2v2. And there's Scream as well on towards Guardian. Edward now all on his lonesome here, just sitting at A. The bomb is loose. He has to sort of cross over to get that one, and he knows there's Titan players inside toilets. This could be messy.
That was truly a lineup from Na'Vi, just gifting him their 2 heads. And the bomb does go down safely, smart from Edward, enabling him to escape. You would expect towards Bank. And he is going to be hunted down. His pincer is going to be deadly. No! Does cut off one of the hands before the second can grab him. And now, with the smoke from Scream, you might very well be holding this. And this is perfect relocation from Edward. That's an important round, stabilizing after, again, an incredible play from RPK. It's becoming an all too familiar sight for us, just screaming that man's name. Just 8 rounds in. And you can see them line up here. Look at this. Trying to stop the bomb. He does exactly that and then does one better. Crazy.
Wasn't even trying to kill Flamey at that point.
No, Flamey fed it. Yeah, he was just like, here's my head as well, I'll take it.
Right now, Titan are in the same situation as they were last night, but reverse. It is now 7-1. This is where they got their first round against Fnatic, and we saw how the rest of the game went. They've turned this around beautifully. I don't know what's happening. Maybe they're just in the right mindset for this game. But let's see if they can continue things now, as for the most part, we see Construction being sort of picketed out by Na'Vi players. Existence making his way into Connector. He wants to disrupt this now. Pushing out. He's going to get one straight away. Guardian goes down. Tries to turn for the 360 or 180, should I say. Maths, come on. He does take down Zeus at least, though. It does trade in, though.
What do they teach you in Australian schools?
God, I was like, what? I don't even know.
180 degrees in a triangle. Now, though, While Mitch has got his textbook out, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what Caesar's doing here on towards B. Clears out the only man really defending it, the one kind of watcher on the site. It's not going to be lasting too much longer now. Flamey down, all onto Seized. 78 points of health and 3 members all coming in from every single angle. He knows this is not long for this world, and Smith does confirm it, as that's going to be 2 for him, 2 for Existence in that one. And Titan, they're just taking it in turns to get really crucial frags. They come in pairs, it seems, so far for the French. Look at this.
The 180, as it were, which Leslie butchering highlight clip since 1991. But yeah, beautiful stuff from here as well. Great reaction, and it's that stuff. It's those brief moments of brilliance there, those bursts of activity from him that are turning these rounds on their heads, and Na'Vi seem to not have an answer to that.
Yeah, just yet. I mean, you're right. This is exactly where Fnatic stood just yesterday up against Titan, and let's see if Na'Vi can find, catch their breath in some regard, because this is where it starts tumbling out of control. We saw exactly with that case in the Fnatic game, though. Does look like Smith is about to be challenged by some pistols, and Na'Vi are all coming in once. It's going to be Existence who does draw first blood, but he's not going to be given the opportunity to find much more.
Smith, though, will be waiting in toilets for this push from Na'Vi. He knows they're all around him. He won't be able to get one as Seized. Gets him in the head with the P250. Now Shocked. He has to step up to the plate. He has to stem the flow now. It's a smoke that comes out. The nade got 2 kills. Guardian of Flamey went down, and he can sit back and start to defend this site as Na'Vi push forward.
Yeah, just screams catch, and that's 2 members down. They do have a rifle, but it's on a very low health Seize. I think that's the wise choice. Gets rid of both the bomb and the rifle towards his compadre in long. If Edward can actually get there, if he's been allowed to by the gatekeeper. Scream. In the meantime, Shocks gets 1, and Scream gets the other, has the double S to acquire another round. This time it was Shocks who took his step to the plate. It's going to be 3 for him in that one. And it's going to be a very, very sexy nade. Just walking in. Now, they had pretty high health. I think I saw 63 on one of them, so that was almost a collateral.
Yeah, I mean, no armor, man. What are you going to do? I mean, it was an eco round coming out from Na'Vi there. They did pretty well considering, to be honest. Definitely put some pressure down now, but let's see what happens. Will we see that Molotov? Yes. C is going to be throwing that one there to stop the early push into construction.
Oh, no.
RPK doesn't care about that one. Oh, he burns down. Why? Completely disregards that one there. Maybe he was too far deep. But he's fallen foul of that great counter-strat.
That's, yeah, we said it before. That's exactly what the Molotov was thrown for. He quite literally whipped out a Sharpie and wrote RPK's name, 3 letters, on the bottle of that molly. And it does find its target. Now, though, 4v4. As here comes Na'Vi towards the site. Again, pace seems to be the only way forward for them, as again they turn up the heat, and again, Edward gets 2 frags. Now the bomb's going to be going in. It's going to come down to Smith trying to catch this flank, and he's going to do just that. That's a start, but he had to pay quite a heavy price.
Absolutely. Gets tagged quite heavily down to 18 points of health. 19, should I say. But Smith's going for the cheeky little spot up here. Great work on towards Guardian, and we go to 2-2. The bomb is down. Scream is going to try and work from A main as well. Does have a Molotov to use. That heads in the direction of Bank. Smoke is obscuring one of the Na'Vi players. Flamey, though, is caught in the head by Scream, and it's a 1v1 situation. Bomb is down. Not much time here. Scream has to manipulate this one. Well, he takes down Edward. He'll get the defuser. Titan, just when it looked like Na'Vi was starting to get some wind in their sails, it is ripped from their grasp.
2 versus 4 between the French boys there. Smith's picked up 3. Scream snatching 2, and that's going to put them both in double digits. They get 10 frags, Titan get 10 rounds. Everyone is a happy camper.
Except for Na'Vi right now, who just, again, struggling to come up with something to counter this play. It's a different map, it's a different team for them, but it seems like they're falling foul of the same internal issues, maybe, that they had earlier tonight. This is just getting away from them right now. I mean, sure, we can go to halftime and hope they get a good pistol, but now is not the time, as Titan are stacking these rounds up. Flamey's in construction, though. RPK is still alive, at least.
Well, I mean, he didn't rush a Molotov this time, so that's a start. And in fact, look, Patience does net him a reward. As instead of falling foul to the Flames, he finds Flamey.
Well, RPK not so cold this round, didn't really need it. Flashes over towards construction there. RPK straight around the corner, but Zeus actually bests him with the Galil. Scream now thinking of stepping up to the plate, but Zeus is low to 4v4 now. A lot of action happening along here. Smith is flashed out, but so is Guardian. He still manages to connect, though, and Existence goes down. Guardian chaining 2 lovely kills together. This is good. This is momentum being built up for now, and this is Titan split between A and B. Shocks is going to come out of the smoke, but Seize will be there to greet him with a hail of bullets to the face. And Scream now. Well, he's stuck on that B side. He must get to, well, on the A side, should I say. He must get towards B. Gonna go to Sniper first, hoping to get an easy pick just to whittle down these numbers from Na'Vi. Great shot towards the head of Seize. The man he is a human bot.
Absolutely, he is the headshot machine, and I think we're going to be seeing Edward fall to him as well. Again, another headshot as well. This could be Scream with another clutch. I don't know whether he's got time, though. Considering Zeus's positioning, he only has to play the clock. It's going to be his worst enemy at this point, especially considering Scream still checking corners. Zeus just has to sit and wait as Scream, so convinced the man's coming from behind him, does have the kit. 5 seconds, and Zeus is just going to come and put a couple of bullets into his brain in order to acquire Na'Vi's second.
The second round for this map coming up for Na'Vi.
It's so odd. Like, you looked at it on paper, and Overpass, not a map good for Titan. Na'Vi, pretty damn good. Titan have just lost on this map to Mouse Sports, and at the moment, especially, you know, in the standings and in recent results, Na'Vi a stronger team than Mouse. Everything correlates towards this game not going 10-2 to Titan.
Well, one way or another, Titan are at least getting practice on this map.
That's for sure.
We'll give them that. But whether they've had time between last night and now, or even the last game, to actually put things together, I'm not sure. But Existence isn't connected. Loves to work from that position. Guardian and Flamey are in playground. Slow play towards long here for Na'Vi. Edward with the bomb is backing out. Zeus gets a bit of resistance now, opening up that avenue of approach towards the middle of the map. But RPK always responding there, trading back and forth there towards the B side. He will back away himself. Smiths and Shocks pushed up in fairly forward positions right now. We're going to see them go head-to-head in a moment. I think he's Edward takes down Smith, but there is Shocks, and he, well, didn't stay for long.
Yeah, now, excuse me, this could be the third, as I think I just hit puberty.
That time, mate.
3v2. RPK only taking one with him, and it's just going to be then on to Scream, as our observer is losing her mind. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Pansy who is manning the controls for tonight's, and she's getting sad. Loss of voice, but not loss of motor skills, and so she is controlling the camera for us. That's going to be Flamey. What was he doing?
Don't know where his motor skills went right now. The Scream will still push on towards him now, towards that A side. Bomb goes down. Zeus will be waiting from A main. He's going to look in two directions right now. Scream has to hedge his bets against those two. But Zeus will still be there to meet him when he pushes out. 3 rounds now for Na'Vi. Well, better late than never.
Okay then, 2 potential more rounds, especially considering Titan's economy. They should be able to get away with their rifles. And a good head of nades as well. Just a couple of players limited on their smokes. But going into this one then up against, I would assume, the AWP of Guardian. Yes, he is going to be putting that back into play. And I mean, this is CT Overpass. Forgetting what we saw against Fnatic, you would expect to see the CT side pick up an advantage. 10 rounds is huge for Titan. But if Na'Vi find 5, and this game plays out like a normal Overpass game, we could have a real game on our hands.
Scream with a 5-7 and Existence again. Setting up shop here in Connector, and Zeus got the better of him last round, but we're going to see that head-to-head in just a moment. Zeus looks away at just the wrong time, and that hampers Na'Vi in a big way. Their flexibility now reduced. Shocks takes out Flamey. Guardian does connect there with the AWP. On towards Shocks, but Titan are trading this one beautifully now with a 4v2, just stripping Na'Vi of options in this round.
Yeah, this is big from Titan. You know they haven't recovered rifles, but the frags alone have done damage now. Just 2 boys left for the CIS team. And I would not be surprised if we do see a decision kind of being made right now by Na'Vi. They know their economy is not going to be fantastic into this final round of the half, and it's a question of weighing up odds and chances, and I think it's also a question of if Guardian can find anything in the next 15 seconds.
Seized also will be bringing up the rear. Bomb in tow. We're making their way towards A main right now. Shots are ringing out from those 5-7s here, and Smith has actually got himself a rifle, so that's important. He's managed to get one off his comrade.
20 seconds though.
Running out of time now. He'd like to lead down the clock, maybe not in this particular way. The Existence hears some sound. He knows he's going to get pushed onto. Seeds goes down, and the bomb is loose. Guardian has to make this work with the AWP right now, but he's got to be pushed onto from multiple directions. He gets flashed up. Existence, he's going to go in for the kill. Yes, he connects. Na'Vi staved off this time. They started to get a bit of a run, couple rounds in a row, but Titan will give themselves one of their own.
11-3. This truly is rather impressive coming in from Titan. Even in like less than ideal circumstances, both in buy and round, they are finding the frags necessary. 11-3, 1 round away then from what could potentially be a pistol round in the end of the game.
Frustrating times for Na'Vi now, going for a Scout Galil, 2 Deagles and a P250 here. Not all helmets either, but Smith there gets heavily tagged as he's been forced to back away. Na'Vi looks like they might want to work a little bit more towards the middle of the map.
Yeah, that was AWP versus Scout. I mean, you did see the Scout come out on top. Just hoping if he'd hit the dome, and Smiths does not quite connect the shot necessary. Was only given a fraction of a second in order to find that frag, and Now, Na'Vi looking to build off of this initial block they placed down on towards Smith, and he's just got 10 points of health, but he's pushed straight through. Flamey does seem rather aware of this. He's staring directly into the smoke. He knows Smith is going to be lingering there, and this is terrifying. He knows. Oh, and the backup smoke comes in. Oh, Smith gets it. That's hilarious. He is not going to be seeing too much more, though, as Existence babysitting smoke is going to be short-lived. Guardian finds another with the Deagle, and Shox puts him back in his place.
Yeah, 2 quick ones with the Deagle from Guardian. Maybe a glimmer of hope there for Na'Vi, and it persists. Edward takes down Scream, and Shox knows he has to hot-foot it over towards that B side. Now, must get there. Tough to clutch from here as well. Does take a headshot as he makes his way through connector on towards walkway. Edward will flash and just try and cover his tracks and just hold him up for as long as he possibly can. Shox knows where he should be, but there surely will be a crossfire right now, and Edward chooses the time to poke out very wisely and takes down Shox. Na'Vi get their, well, 4th round of the half right at the end. They're in honestly pretty compromising circumstances there. They didn't have a lot to work with. They're going to need every round on top of that from here on out.
Yeah, that's kind of going to be the buzzword for Na'Vi. They have very little on their side coming into this defensive half, and it's going to be coming down to their initial 3. You know, if they can start doing the same fashion that Titan did with those first 3 rounds, and then continue to build off the back of them, I think it was actually a rather convincing start, and that's kind of where Na'Vi need to follow suit.
So far, we have seen Na'Vi, you know, sort of lose that pistol and then not actually able to sort of have their wits about them by the time those gun rounds come around as well. So, well, obviously, goes without saying, pistol is a must-win here for Na'Vi. They have to start to stack some of those rounds up. It's been a good performance from Edward, considering, but Flamey as well, very, very quiet half for him, really. Only 3 kills to his name. Hasn't been able to have an impact, hasn't been able to influence the flow of the game as well, and it's going to be frustrating for one of the best riflers in CSGO.
Yeah, I mean, he's crazy, and I mean, everyone's drawing that same comparison that you did, where it's kind of Flamey and Scream, who are these kind of what can sometimes just go off on these fragging streaks that very few people can counter. And let's see if maybe Flamey can redeem himself now on the defensive side. It looks like it's going to be a long play from Titan. They're throwing their bodies, and Flamey, just as we questioned him, has drawn first blood.
That's right, it does open up with that USP. Now he's working in towards mid through toilets. He's still fairly healthy as well. He takes his second. The Scalp of Existence will be added. Smith is able to come through, pushing towards toilets and take him down. The menace that he had been. Smith with 2 as well, going to even it up at 3 apiece. Scream is incredibly low now, and you can see Na'Vi players just huddling up on towards his A site. Can they do much from here? They're expecting a push through, and Edwards set up in toilets as well. They have a good cover, but let's see if they can make the shots connect. They cannot! Smith's an RPK. Getting it done here, turning this pistol around. This is disastrous for Na'Vi.
I mean, it couldn't have gone any worse. Now Titan have turned it completely on its head. 3 for Smiths in that one. RPK picked up the double for himself, getting that final frag into the head of Edward, and now we have a little bit of a problem on our hands. Losing that pistol is going to put a lot of pressure now on Na'Vi's the remaining few rounds. I'm intrigued to see how they take this force. They have gone full, as much as they can, rather. Helmet and Kevlar deals across the board, apart from the 2 5.7s. Now it comes down to those SMGs from Titan. This could be a replay of what we saw before, those MP9s.
They really want to squash Na'Vi here, of course. A Mac Daddy coming out as well for RPK. Smith's actually managed to get himself an AK here, so Deagle's coming out for Na'Vi. They must hold on here. Armor, helmet for all but 2. Flamey's pushed up here on long quite close. His teammate is there, flanking him. Existence now in mid might be caught. He receives, comes up from behind him, does manage to take him out. There's Flamey as well, doing work with the Deagle. RPK is able to chime in here, and so is Scream. But Na'Vi have done well. They've traded into this one beautifully. Now the Mac 10 of RPK does find its mark. Here's our 2v2, but Edward has managed to get himself that MP7. So has Zeus. Decent guns in the hands of these guys. Let's see what they can make of it.
Yeah, I like this. He's wielding Existence's weapon and kind of putting 2 and 2 together and realizing that they are going to be on their way back. Catches the bomb carrier as he does get himself up to party. Very nice work from him. And let's see if he really can celebrate. If it's a little too premature, Scream does find Zeus's head, and now he just has 40 seconds to find the SMG of Edward. Oh, gets caught. Very nice from Na'Vi. They come into the second round looking for a little bit of a vengeance, and they do get a taste for it.
They've turned that around so beautifully as well. Invested heavily in Deagles and put a lot of players on long. They read that nicely as well, getting those guns straight out of Titan's hands, giving themselves access to those SMGs to turn things around, really helped get themselves back in that one. I mean, they didn't win the pistol, but well, this is the next best thing here. And Na'Vi now able to buy up 3 Famises, an AK, as well as an M4 there for them. And Titan now forced to be a bit more frugal now with those Tech 9s and the P250s. Couple flashes there as well. They've all got some armor, no helmet for Existence. They've got something to work with, but as I said, they need to do an Na'Vi here as well if they want to keep that train rolling.
Yeah, and I mean, if they did keep that train rolling, Na'Vi's economy is going to be completely reset. That's the kind of the one worry when Titan do bring this force into play. And now, it does look like they are going to be starting to push through toilets. This is aggressive, and we saw it work for Na'Vi this time. Let's see if it can work for Titan. Oh, just the one! Scream does swing around, and he's going to be able to find a very crucial frag. Bomb is loose, though, and Guardian not going to let Titan start something special. As I say that, it's just going to be coming down to Smith. Don't you dare, Zeus! Stops that before it gets out of control. Did manage to do 3 frags, though. To take 3 weapons away from Na'Vi is not, the most important thing considering Titan's economy now, but it does manage to keep a lid on Na'Vi and force them into something a little less than ideal.
Just want to keep them within arm's reach as well. Any sort of economic damage that they can be inflicting at this stage can possibly, sort of pay dividends further down the track. So, still forcing up with those pistols here, RPK and Scream with Deagles. P250's only armor on RPK though as well. He's the only player with that one. So, Titan, do they play this one differently? Zeus getting so aggressive there and just straight towards the head of Shox. He never knew what hit him.
Yeah, for a second I thought we were watching RPK there. The MP9 pushing down through water, and oh, looks like the shop's closed again through connector. As the door just gets spammed closed, though. Flamey throws out his molly. Finally, another one, this time for Edward, as Na'Vi is going to be making light work, I was going to say, of Titan until RPK joined us. Don't do this to me! It could have been 3 with the Deagle. No, just the 2 for him. Again, though, taking weapons away from Na'Vi. That's the point you just made, whereby, they are keeping Na'Vi kind of honest and frugal. And they are going to be going into this one with the AKs. Yeah,
not able to plant, though. Titan, that is definitely going to be holding them back a little bit economically here. I mean, Smith's... Let's see what he's got. I think he did buy a rifle there. Yeah, he did. Obviously got the AWP in hand. So he at least now can go for that one. RPK doesn't have armor, so they're still cobbling some stuff together. And Na'Vi, a la Titan last half, still staying with some of those SMGs.
There were 2. Fortunately, Zeus does actually scavenge a FAMAS off the floor, courtesy of one of his teammates. And so going into this one then, things are going to start heating up for Titan. After so many rounds consecutively, they're going to be keen to start to make their own impact. Na'Vi, of course, 3 in a row now off the back of Titan's only 1 pistol round. I think it's evidence in their play that they are not keen on losing anyone early. Titan have managed to seize connector control, and they're going to try to build off that through middle. Guardian holding fast just outside toilets, and oh, we got a glimpse of one. It was Smith's. AWP now snatched away from Titan, and that's a huge start.
Quite an exposed position for Smith to actually have pushed up into there. And Guardian, well, he had the line, and he took the shot now. And Flamey will actually push through towards toilets, at least set himself up in that corner for the moment. And Titan will have to play this one a little bit slower. The AWP has actually gone over to existence here, and Shox is going to play out of Canal here towards that pillar. He can find the head of Headwood, though. That's a great start. There's going to be another one on the side, though, and Zeus will be able to trade into that one and send him packing. Titan are happy to go 1 for 1 at this stage of pushing in, but they just have to keep the momentum going. They need to be pushing onto these sites and pressuring Na'Vi. Zeus getting a lot of breathing room here. He knows they're going to be coming through from connector. RPK goes down. Will he make it a second? Yes, Scream hits the deck and the bomb is loose. It's just existence left with an AWP and fire in his face. He's going to have to back right on up here. And, well, will he save this one or just go for something different? I think he's got to be very careful. He will be pushed, though.
It's a question of survival. He does get the one. He's going to have to try and get out of line of sight. Just in the nick of time, does just that. So he's going to be able to find security right back where he started at spawn.
Interesting stuff here as well. We're seeing... quite a few consecutive rounds coming out here for Na'Vi. They've stitched up 4, of course, in this half. You can see they've actually done so, for the most part, quite cleanly. So, economy's starting to flow for them now, and Titan's the shoe's on the other foot here. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. We're seeing those Tech 9s being brought into. Smith's now getting his AWP returned to him, but they're going to have to play around him as a pivot point here. He is going glass cannon, no armor for the man. He has to create an opening here in Na'Vi, and Titan had to exploit that, and quickly.
And that's not going to be ideal. Guardian, he did it a little later the round before. This time he goes hunting, and the fast peek does net him a huge reward. Existence then has the AWP thrust into his hands as he's told to do one better than his teammate. Bomb from Titan is going to be such a priority now. They just need money at this point, and Shox has made huge room for his team over on the B site, left Edward to his own devices, and actually did cost them a whole lot of problems. Never mind, Scream now down. Zeus doing the same, and now Titan have so few players standing so early in the round. It seems like it's just the same thing again and again. And this is going to be the 5th in a row for Navi.
Guardian happy to push up a little bit aggressively towards Park there. Does find a kill. This RPK though going head-to-head with C's, but C's had the shot when it counted, and Existence is forced to back up into toilets. That AWP is still being circulated through Titan players. Existence still has it, but there it's going to be taken away from him. And Titan now, well, back to the drawing board. They must reset here. They understand, of course, they can buy. They don't have that AWP anymore. Smith will buy himself one regardless. But that scoreboard looking a little bit nicer here. Look at Flamey as well. He's had a lift. He's now in the middle table. Let's see what he can do now as the rest of these rounds go. It's a double AWP setup though for Na'Vi.
Yep, not something we've seen from them before. It's actually going to be Edward who brings the second one into the play, and it looks like he's going to be just taking that straight towards, I would assume, going for that peak on Monster. Oh, and that's nice. He gets flashed in, isn't anticipating. Oh, he is! Smiths, where were you? Catches a glimpse of his thighs and does it again. That's 3 rounds in a row that AWP investment from Titan has just been taken away so early.
Yeah, it wasn't even by the primary AWP from Na'Vi as well. Edward stepping up to the plate this time with alacrity, but he will miss the shot over towards RPK, I think it was. The C's does go down. Shox trying to work his way up out of Canal. RPK at the front. Shox finds the head of Edward somehow, and that's the AWP down, but Zeus, he's going to respond. It's back and forth on this B site, and there's 2 players left for Na'Vi. It's an AWP and an M4 in their hands. What can they do with them as Titan look to try and get this plant down?
Back and forth game. I did see again early start from Na'Vi. This time though, Titan have managed to get their teeth a little further into the site. It's going to be Guardian and Flamey then, and I like this angle from Shox. They're not anticipating it. Does find the one. Guardian on the hunt, not even going to be allowed it. Shox seizes 4 frags in that one. Started so humbly and built on for Titan. 13 then for them, and that's going to be so crucial, as it did feel like Na'Vi was starting to roll a little bit of a snowball. That was 5 in a row for them, and finally Titan put 1 on the board for them. That's 2 now for them on the T side. Economically,
of course, Titan are not out of the woods yet. They must get this next consecutive one, but they're able to buy up. They're able to give themselves all the utility they could want. On the side of Na'Vi, though, they are lacking a bit. Only smokes for Flamey and Zeus at this stage. So, I mean, their ability to stall for time is going to be hampered a bit.
Damn you, C's. I was getting so excited. I was like, oh, that's a keen lineup. Where are you taking me? In the meantime, Guardian's going aggressive. 2, not 3. He does. He's just shattering their hopes and dreams on long. Titanfall is a different game, and now it's all on to Shox.
Wow, what a showing there from Guardian. Completely shutting down Titan just as they start to get a sniff of the cheese, as it were. And now Shox, well, he's going to try and pull out some of his own Parmesan, some of his own brand now. 1v5 with the AWP in hand. Will he hold on to it? Probably no point now. Too easy to catch the man. He does take down C's. That's one. I'm chalking it up. But Guardian gets the ace, and he's going to shut Titan back down and put him in their place.
Wow, and it was so damn sexy as well. Only losing 1 man for Na'Vi. Look at this. Charging at them with rifles. I almost felt like they had Tech 9s. What was that? Just goes off on long. And the Pro League most definitely living up to its name. We have seen so many crazy plays over the course of just 2 days. My mind cannot take it. And now, just Shox, who has gear, going to try and build something for Titan, because I have a horrible fear that that is going to be the first nail whipped out for Titan and their coffin, because now their money has been completely reset.
Oh, I got a feeling this may well be real close here. P250s for Existence RPK, well, the entirety of Titan with the exception of Shox here. He at least has a smoke and a flash, which he'll expend now. He's going to try something on towards B here. It's got to be aggressive. It's got to be a burst play, and they are making the push out on towards that side. Shox will be bringing up the re here. There is a lot of smoke going up, and Zeus wants to try and, well, squash down this rebellion as quick as possible, but Scream takes one. Zeus with one himself. Edward chimes in there as well. Over towards his pistol, and will manage to pick up that kill as well. And unfortunately, that's what happens. Titan trying to create an opportunity there on that eco, but not going to be enough for them there.
Do see another problem for Titan is, of course, their money. That's going to be not as a full eco, but 2 kind of a double half eco. You are going to see a couple of them just acquire a little bit of money. And oh, here we go. Let's see if you can do it this time, C's. Do it for me. Lines up and then changes his mind. Does this time? No. Oh. Hey! Okay, so he does throw it out, and it's actually, that's quite nice. It's going to land straight into short. We saw a similar smoke from Tads not too long ago. Talk about it in a second. Titan are again shattered. It's all then just on to Shox and Existence. Shox found one, looking for a second, but he's forced to reload, and that costs him his life and his teammate Existence. And Na'Vi are playing CT as you would expect, I suppose, considering what we did see from Titan's CT side. I think my My bias levels have been askew by Fnatic yesterday. I was so confused. I wasn't sure what to expect coming into this one, especially seeing Titan acquire so much more on their CT side. But no, Na'Vi keeping it default.
It's tough to see a Fnatic game and take the result for Gospel, I think, now as well. Na'Vi are starting to wake up as well. They're within spitting distance of Titan after that round. And Titan have the bye at the very least here, but they've really got to do something special with it. It can't just be a close round. If they win it, they have to dominate right now. But Edward's going to be waiting in construction, and he takes down RPK. Zeus is also flanking him now. Grenades in towards Connector. Shox will have to back up for a moment now as Caesar waits a push from long. Smiths will be obliging right now as he will flash himself in. And Flamey is also being brought on towards that side. Sees great little flick, but Smith will be able to take his head off immediately. Flamey sitting behind the dumpster is going to be Molotov out. Shots through smoke. No, he won't make it, and Smith will be able to get across that one now. Flamey takes down Existence. Flamey takes down Smith. He's looking for a third right now, but Shox is there to shut him down.
This is doable. Scream and Shox, no stranger to the clutch, and the bomb is going to be going down. Nade going to be, bringing Shox down to a similar level as Scream, and straight through the smoke. Edward finishes what he started. Now then, it falls to Scream. 3 hungry members of Na'Vi are going to be fed that final frag, and that's going to be the equalizer. We find ourselves then at 13-13, and this has been the mental fortitude of Na'Vi displayed.
Well, at the very least, Titan have actually managed to get a plant here, so it's not going to be at the end of the world.
Silver lining, always, Mitch.
Well, I mean, the thing is they haven't planted often on their T side here at all. Quite a lot of those rounds they're very much struggling with, but Zeus and Guardian, have a look at this. Those 3 players, in fact, really stepping up right now. 22 kills, 21 for Guardian, so very, very good. They're all waking up. They could have used them last game, but well, this is where it's at right now. Let's see what they can do.
Oh, and he's got the, as you dubbed it, the Dak.
Yeah. The Dak. That's the one.
Going to be equipping that and not finding anything too early on then in this one. Flamey, maybe he's found a little bit of happiness with that weapon. He's still sitting pretty on 12 frags, finding more than he did in the previous one. In the meantime, though, First Blood has been drawn and traded as Zeus and Shox bite the dust.
That's right, of course. Guardian still with the AWP in hand. He's a little bit tagged up at the moment here. For the most part, his Titan looked to be working that long. Flamey just going to rotate now. Set himself up. Flash himself to get the spot. RPK, great shot towards the head of Caesar. Will take down Flamey as well. And that's a great little passage of play here for Titan. Can they expand on this one here? You can see the reinforcements, the cavalry are on the way as Edward making his way up towards back of A. Guardian will be there as well. A dumpster with AWP, but the bomb is already down, and Scream is waiting for Edward as he comes up the stairs. And
Scream finishes it as well. RPK, those 2 entry frags on a site do not come easily. They shouldn't come easily. That's a site where CTs can afford to just hold very tight angles and you have to come to them. And he clicks his fingers and takes 2 down. Very, very important play there from RPK. He has been a real backbone for his team, and it's represented in his frags as well. He is in a similar fashion to Na'Vi. Top 3 sitting 20 plus, just 3 frags separating those top 3 fraggers, and it's great to see RPK joining the likes of Shox and Scream at the top.
RPK made that look just so effortless. No, Na'Vi, all right. They've got to gather their wits here. Titan and put their nose back in front. It's got to be tit for tat until the very end. I can feel it. But there's RPK making headlines again on towards Guardian. But Flamey, the 2-stacking connector from Na'Vi working out well. And Seized is there to pick up Existence as he makes his way through. He is tagged up quite heavily. Smiths is there and he goes down. Nice work from Scream to chime in on that one. Now Flamey has to deal with Smiths at length. He will get him. Trade back and forth. 2v2 now. And Titan, well, they're going to be taking the bomb back in towards their spawn. Gear up for another push.
Yeah, there's so much time on the clock. I think Titan don't want to rush things, especially on such an important round. If they pick this one up, that 16th will come, you would expect, a little easier, considering where Na'Vi would be sat, or rather the Na'Vi's wallets would be sat. But so far, 50 seconds, and that bomb is going to be slowly creeping and crawling. And Na'Vi, they're not ready for this. Edward's still in long. Titan haven't given too many signals away. This is going to be it, though. Starts waving a big red flag, and Zeus is going to be screaming that he needs backup as the smoke is pluming.
That's right. Zeus can only really watch the cross to the side. Anything more than this, far too risky for the man. Molotov on the corner is going to prevent him from peeking that one safely and smoke on towards the side. Scream with subterfuge. Will plant the bomb. He'll back away as well. Zeus is going to have a crack through the smoke. Won't connect any of those bullets as well. And that's going to be starting to make you concerned now as Titan can back away. Edward's going through pipe. Shox will be there to meet him. Who will be the better on the shot? It is Shox. And now Zeus must. We've got it all to do right now. He must put the team on his shoulders to bring this one back. But Scream will shut him down. And that is heartbreaking for Na'Vi after mounting a very reasonable comeback here. They're at match point and Titan are looking good.
Yeah, this has been a bit of a nail-biter as things started to come to a close. And I say come to a close because you have to look at that money. 3 players are going to have the idyllic buy. That's, of course, without the nades and utility that they do require. It's going to be Flamey who just step up to the mantle and equip himself something special. Just going for the 2 flashes and a smoke. Another flash and a smoke for Guardian. But that's all they have to work with in order to delay. And look at the side of Titan. Mollies for days.
They've got everything they need right now to finish this one off. Scream is going to be working too long and won't actually find any opposition. Na'Vi, well, they're trying to make the most, I guess, of P250s and Mag 7s now as they sit in towards Connector and they are just waiting. Was that Shox?
Yeah.
Oh my lord, he just got by Flaming.
Oh, he did. Okay, panic over. There's plenty more where that came from.
Now he's going to be sitting Connector right now. We did see the door open, so he knows that Na'Vi have a strong presence towards here, and he's just going to sit back as the rest of his team will be sneaking their way towards A, and there's only C's there to receive them now. He can hear the mollies, he can hear the sound of Titan pushing past him, but he can't see. He is completely flashed out, and they've just gone straight past him now. C's have to turn around very, very quickly. He does get the better of Smith, but there's so much smoke, there's so much blood, and RPK is going to be able to take out C's. Edward will go down, and Guardian, it's not going to be enough here at all for Na'Vi, and Titan have done it. They have brought this one back, and Na'Vi 0-2 for the night so far. Devastating stuff.
Titan stabilized then, 16-14. Couldn't get much closer than that. I think that's going to be a big result as well for Titan. 16-13, excuse me. I just gave them an extra one because I care. Because I care. But no, coming down right to the wire with Titan's strong CT side, Na'Vi having almost exactly the same, just edging a couple of individual performances from RPK. He is going to be my MVP of that one. The frags he was getting was so important. Taking risks with an MP9 way back when, getting those frags against rifles, and then now on the T side finding those frags on sites. Very, very comfortable play from him.
What a very valuable buffer actually for Titan on that CT half, which ultimately it didn't seem like they really needed. I mean, to get, I think it was 11 rounds in the first half is very, very good. It's more than you'd expect. You sort of go for the 10 and 5 split and be sort of happy to move on with that one. So they exceeded expectations there as well. And for a team who were going into this game saying, I'm getting pretty sick of overpass, well, they've definitely they've done well in that regard.
Yeah, so that doesn't end. That's not the end of the line for Na'Vi, as they have a third test that they're going to have to attempt to pass. It's going to be up against EnVyUs, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that one unfolds. If you guys have missed any of the action both today and yesterday in the Pro League, you can catch all of that information and more over at the Score Esports application. Just check it out on your phone on the go. And for now, it's time for us to take a break. When we're back, we'll find out if Na'Vi can pass test.
Versus Kenny S in this one as well will definitely be one for us to keep our eyes on as the ninth round does begin. Let's see how this one starts off. EnVyUs coming off a loss as well as Na'Vi. Both these teams maybe feeling like they have something to prove here on Train.
Here we go then, starting to battle for their choice of side. I mean, choice of side, how relevant is that, considering just how powerful we did see Envy over on the T side? Of course, Train, a map that is phobiaed to be one of the scary ones for the Ts, and I mean, maybe they're going to change that. Maybe Envy are going to give us a demonstration. I really hope to see something, you know, inspiring from them on the attack, because I would love to see some innovation, some changes, and a little bit of a tilt of the balance on this attack and defensive map. Now, jumping into this one, Envy do get given the choice. That's the question as to where they want to take this.
Well, look, I mean, it's important to point out that both these teams have displayed really strong T sides on Train in the past. So we talk about that one maybe being one that teams will shy away from and try and sort of set themselves up on the CT. But, I mean, as I said, it was a 13-2 T side for Fnatic, against Fnatic for EnVyUs last night. And Na'Vi as well. T side was what carried them to victory against TSM. So we're going to see, by the looks of things, EnVyUs start on CT here. Let's see what Na'Vi can put up to start things off. They, especially at least from what we've seen tonight, have something to prove, definitely have to fire up, but this is probably the stiffest opposition they'll be facing this evening.
Yeah, a little statistic, of course, regarding these two players, or rather these two teams, excuse me. Na'Vi have lost the last 4 of the 5 times these two teams have met. They definitely have got, as you've been saying, the monkey on their back, and that monkey is most definitely French. And look at this, here comes Na'Vi, trying to start as they mean to go on. Guardian does get the first onto MBK, but Apex bites back. The bomb going in, though, but look at that damage done early.
That's right. EnVyUs and Kiyoshima are still now trying to get, Kenny S and Kyo are still trying to get in position right now, but they are now here. Flamey, you see, trying to do some work there with that Glock. He does get the better of Kenny S now. 2v4 situation. Na'Vi a little bit low for the most part, and Apex is able to capitalize on that one. Kiyoshima as well chimes in. 2v1 now as Apex does take down Edward. The bomb is down. Oh, that's a great way to disrupt that one here. Apex is burning down. Kiyoshima, they have to head for the hills and try and take down Siege himself. It's going to be the 1v1 and Siege. He gets it done. What a beast he is. And maybe that is what's going to get Na'Vi started off in this one. Absolutely stellar play from the man.
Yeah, crucial Molotov. This is something I think, actually, now I cast my mind back, something I see an awful lot. They get that bomb down early, and then that Molotov, that investment, sees keeping himself alive, keeping himself in the running, and getting that Molotov lined up perfectly. Beautiful stuff then to start Na'Vi off. Doesn't matter how many frags you get if it's not the man holding the molly with that strategy. And something exciting being thrown in from MBK, picking up the Nova in the second round.
Interesting stuff here. He got no armor, of course. It's only Kirishima happy in Apex with the armor.
You can hold a
stage.
close angle maybe on the site. Oh, that's exactly what he's doing. And it does look like he's expecting to have a couple of heads thrown his way. Oh, no. He had a little bit of a challenge by Edward, and that's all it took in order to find him. It does look like the bomb and Envy are going to be dropping too. That's
it. Na'Vi filtering out on towards this B side here and encountering, well, minimal resistance, I'll be honest. There's Flamey again. 3-4 this round for the man. Just making mincemeat of EnVyUs right now. And Happy trying to channel what we've seen from Happy in the past with this Deagle. But it's a big job for him. And Edward is not going to give him the highlight clip he's looking for.
Yeah, I just seen his name of his Deagle.
Oh dear.
Team solo wrecked. I'm in love with that one, as there was a little bit of a kind of moaning period on the floor. He was just moping about, complaining about that one. But no, that is going to be 2-0 then for Na'Vi, and we're going to be seeing just the pistols for Envy going into this one. So strong start for them. It's really crucial if you do start on that T side to get those initial 3, because those are the numbers on the board that, you know, the CT side can't deal with. If you get the first 3 and then you proceed to have a little bit touch of brilliance, that's when you start seeing train maps 1 with these crazy, crazy numbers.
Na'Vi now still with 2 Galils. Definitely plenty of nades there with the exception of Flamey. So they're wanting to start to apply the pressure. And again, MBK playing close on this B side, but probably not going to see too much action right now as Na'Vi seem to be more preoccupied with this A side. Apex is pushed up to Electric there, but Flamey again opens up the account. Guardian's going to move around as well. Zeus is chiming in. It's all about Na'Vi right now. They're painting it yellow and black as Guardian does take down Kenny S with the nade and MBK. Well, he was out of position. He wasn't where the fight was, and he gets himself up to the top of the ladder. He will await someone's head to hopefully show. EnVyUs, in the meantime, putting their heads together now as they do approach their first buy. They have to start their engines.
Yeah, this is just going to be a case of trying to take something away. I think Na'Vi... Ooh, I was going to say Zeus is happy to kind of take a risk with his Galil, but no, even he's not interested. I think he realizes that the pain could be waiting for him at the top of that ladder. Instead, he will linger in Pop Dog as the time continues to tick away. And MBK, I mean, he's got very little to lose. If he could just take 1 rifle away, that would be rather nice. Instead, though, he does look like he's going to be holding fire. Maybe, actually. Oh, hang on. There's a low-health Guardian. He's approaching him fast. This could very well be even better for him, as he does catch Guardian's hand and take a rifle away from Na'Vi.
Just a little bit of economic damage inflicted by Team EnVyUs as we head into that first buy. Who knows if it'll pay dividends further down the track. Kenny S going glass cannon here. No armor for the man. The rest of EnVyUs, though, opting for those rifles. Plenty of flashes for Apex and NBK now as well, to stall out things on that B side.
Always excited for the Kenny S Guardian matchup. It's always one that can really bring us some sexy CS, and let's see if that's going to be delivered to us right now. Instead, it's going to be on either end of the map, I think, as Kenny does get himself up into heaven fast. Guardian towards Pop Dog. Not going to have the ideal angle in order to take down Orb Jewel. Instead, though, he could have a chance of casting his eyes towards Ivy, and he does do just that. And so far, the T side definitely looking to set themselves up for an A push. 4 members of the 5 all gathered to push through Ivy and Pop Dog, respectively.
So Ivy's still smoked for the moment. It will be Kirishima that will be waiting for them to push through it here. But Guardian and Zeus just inching their way out of Pop Dog. Guardian knows as soon as he gets that kill, it's on for Young and Old. They're going to push out on towards that site. But here's Kirishima as well. He's got his hands full at the moment with these 2 Na'Vi players. He knows there's 2 of them at least going to be pushing into him right now. And again, MBK going to have a quiet one here. May make a rotation up and towards on the back of B at this stage. We'll have to see who'll be waiting for him now. C's did take down Kirishima. So that's opened things up at Ivy now. And Na'Vi can start to just close the gap, close the trap a little bit now. They have 3 players ready to push in on towards that A tunnel.
Yeah, and Guardian's actually pushed over towards B. This is a very interesting play from Na'Vi. 3 players stacked up now towards T1, and they're just going to push on through. This could be a wrap. I think it is. NBK's about to have a whole lot of friends over at this party on the B side, because Zeus is bringing the bomb. Guardian's pushing from behind. Oh, and if he could just catch Zeus, that's the bomb loose. That's huge from MBK. He could very well take the AWP out of Guardian's hands, but Guardian too damn quick. 30 points of health now. And Na'Vi, this has been an intriguing play, an intriguing turn of events. And Kenny not quite going to hit the shots. It's going to cost him his life.
That's what No Armor's going to do for you now. As Apex going to push down ramp. He knows that Guardian, and at least Edward will be close, but he's not looking up. Now he does, but it's a little bit too late. And sees with that recovered AWP, is going to take him out.
What an interesting style from Na'Vi then. 3 players from Ivy. They get the frag T1 and then just push, like almost through CT spawn, through that T1 to Z connector, and then just wrapped onto B. Very nice. Zeus and Guardian taking that bomb delivery a little bit more safer route. And that's going to net them the 4th. That was their first real test, and looks like they passed that one with flying colours.
BK was reluctant to push actually into sort of back of B on that one, so he was sort of waiting on the side to receive that one here now. Oh dear, CZ for Kenny S, it's a deagle for Kiyoshima, not a lot to work with here at all for EnVyUs. And Guardian, oh, he loves to play this line, and he knows there's a lot of plays. He tries to get the flick up towards, is he going to be able to connect it? But Seas and Edward are going to make short work of EnVyUs right now, and Guardian doesn't even have to make a shot. Seas and Edward, partners in crime right now, 2 apiece, but NBK tries to rejuvenate his team, or at least make something happen there. He does get Edward, but it's just not enough. Na'Vi, 5 on the board to none from Envy.
Yeah, even getting the bomb down as well, just salt to the wound, extra cash in their pockets. And talking of cash in their pockets, this almost feels like the same kind of situation we saw Titan in an overpass. You know, those early kind of frags, those early deficits, of course, for Envy, where you're not seeing Na'Vi go down to low players. They're keeping them high and picking up these rounds convincingly, and that does lead to this current situation. Then again, Envy bringing in the double up. Let's see how they can build from this one, because I think we could be seeing again from Na'Vi. Zeus still towards B, and those 3 still towards Ivy. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a bit of a repeat.
2 orbs is a big investment from EnVyUs to take from this position here. They're really hoping to get the ball rolling on this one. MBK, again, the solo B hold right now. He struggled to find a really good position to hold any pushes from. Moves back into the get right spot. And now Ivy being contested yet again. Smoke is up there, but Kenny S now bolstering the EnVyUs forces in that position. Molotov will force him back towards the other tunnel here as he does look towards that bomb site. Apex is already there. EnVyUs not quite settled here. There's still motion, there's still transient, I guess, and there's a bit of Na'Vi moving here towards that B side. It's going to be happy we'll rotate, but MBK will still be the first to receive this push now. He must hit these shots and hang on.
Yeah, and it's the kind of patience required to be that B player, because you are going to have rounds where you sit still for a minute. And that's exactly what's happened. Now it's going to come down to everything that NBK can do. It's a question of survival, less than fragging, but not going to happen. Seized dashes his dreams, and the rotate's coming in, but they're going to be dropping as soon as they get there. Seized with a crucial double. The bomb's going in from him as well. And now we find ourselves in a rather unfavorable scenario. They've already lost 1 of the 2 AWPs they brought into the fray, and they're just going to be hoping to keep the rest of these weapons. Maybe do some damage, and Kyo does a little. It's a tickle, but nothing. Na'Vi laugh that one off, and we are going to be seeing all 5 still standing. Another neat and tidy round from Na'Vi.
Very, very hard when Na'Vi take B away so quickly from EnVyUs. You see they all sort of had to filter through Z connector. Kenny there will sort of get some consolation here as he is, and Ivy Edward actually dies. I think he falls down as well. Kenny gets a second as well. So some guns being taken away from Na'Vi. It's going to take the sting out of this round a little bit for EnVyUs, but it doesn't change the fact that there's 6 rounds down, and Kenny goes to no-scope. Unfortunately, he's not able to deliver that little bit of magic this time.
I loved that as well, like evading the flash by pushing up. If only the no-scope had connected is the word I'm looking for. That would have been just 1 man left for Na'Vi after the 5 of them.
Could have turned things 360.
360. I mean, we're all struggling, aren't we, at the moment? But yeah, you can see that survival rate from Na'Vi. They kind of win rounds, like, theoretically, with 5 clears still standing, and then as the save comes in, they start losing bodies. Edward's committing suicide, no less. As now we are going to be seeing a pretty shaky buy from Envy. Let's see how much they can build with this one. Did catch a glimpse. Guardian peeking out through connector. But doesn't look like he's going to be able to find anything just yet, as he's being teased and taunted by Apex and Kia. Guardian
loves to hold from T2 here. He's looking for Kia or someone crossing there, but Flamey does take down Kenny S. His teammates really doing the job for him right now. He is just going to be patient now, as Kiyoshima understands that, of course, his opponent's going to be there. He flashes out, and Apex is the one to follow up on that flash. He's looking for Guardian. He didn't find him as all. Guardian got him just around the corner there with a nice little shot at close range, and EnVyUs are down to 3 players. 2 for Masters, 1 and 4, and not a lot of utility as well. Just the 1 smoke between them now. Sees he's going to make a push. Kyo's there, but he doesn't have a lot of health after that little engagement, and Flamey will pick him up.
So, now just 2 remain, Happy and MBK, and they're on a site apiece. It's going to come down to some outstanding individual plays if they want a chance. At the first round on the board, this train is not looking fantastic for them. Such a strong start for Na'Vi on their T side, but Happy does start when he means to go on, but nothing more will be given. As Zeus does shake his head, and we are going to be saying NBK make a decision. And it's an executive one to try and come from the CT spawn.
NBK will just wait here. Just try and salvage what he can. Na'Vi, they're on a roll right now. There's no doubt about it. And EnVyUs, well, EnVyUs train hasn't even left the station. As NBK would have to sit in spawn. expect something from Connector, but that's pretty much it. So 0-7 Na'Vi. Strange stuff here. Actually, this is almost coming up as a number here. I would be surprised to see EnVyUs take the next round just purely based on a trend from what we've seen here in these last few games. But EnVyUs got to put their heads together. This is what I'm talking about strong T sides. God, Mitch, get it out. EnVyUs don't really seem to have an answer. They're trying to put the square block in the round hole. It's just not working. Did you have that toy as a kid?
I'm with you. I'm sorry. It was that combined with "Come on, Mitch, get it out" that really just threw me into a spin. I'm back now. 7-1. Let's go back to that. Okay. So 7-0. See if Envy can go ahead and follow suit with this kind of 7-1 result, because that's something that we've been seeing a bit of a trend. It would be surprising if they did it with this Deagle party that they have started. Just the one rifle that MBK managed to recover, of course, from the round prior. Interesting to see them go so aggressive, and those nades are doing a good start, bringing him down to 16. Yeah,
they're trying to shut down Guardian, bombard him with shrapnel, but it's actually Edward who will open up the account. He takes down Apex. He's now at the bottom of Pop Dog right now, as Kenny S is actually in quite a forward position here. He's quite aggressive with that Deagle, looking for hope, or maybe Guardian if he can get him off the map here, but he's playing very cannily. Guardian staying safe. His positioning can sometimes seem a bit aggressive, but here on train, he just wanted to watch from that T2 tunnel and get some picks. Kenny S at the bottom of Pop Dog. Corpse of his teammate right there. He's got to be very careful about the push in on towards this one, as Na'Vi starting to move towards Ivy yet again. Maybe they'll tease this one and go back to B. Who knows? But Kenny is going to ascend that ladder. Will he get the shots on quick enough? He does, and Edward just gets a few Deagle shots towards the knee, and it just implodes. Flamey and C's now working through these tunnels. In the middle of the map, Kenny S is making good on these. Promised to use that Deagle to good effect here. And now we have a 4v3 in favour of Envy.
Could this 7-1 curse be reality, as now it's going to be seized? And Zeus trying to make a difference. They do that. Happy and now MBK have to try and kind of cobble together what is left. 3 players to find. And actually MBK does make it level. And this is nice. Happy then is going to have to go into a 1v1. He has recovered a rifle. No armor to be seen. And Seized looking for his third. Back and forth they go. The dance is going to be won by Seized. Snaps his fingers and finds his third. And that's going to be Na'Vi then on 8. Envy still not off the starting line, and there's only so many rounds left now before it kind of gets out of control. No,
I mean, Happy making enough sound to wake the dead, obviously on the bomb side, not having the armor as well. He just wasn't, I guess, geared for that easy head-to-head, or that equal head-to-head engagement. Double up again. EnVyUs putting a lot of money into this one here again. They're just trying to break through. They're just trying to create some opportunity and capitalize it off of here from the mid to sort of late round. But the early picks are going to be important. Happy will do that. He takes down Guardian. It's probably the first time we've seen that all game, and that's a great start. EnVyUs breathing a sigh of relief, some freedom for them now, but will Na'Vi continue to apply the pressure?
It does look like the best start Envy have had in a long time. Both AWPs coming into fruition there, as Kenny and Happy on polar opposite sides of the map are making things happen. Interesting flash actually thrown out through that mini window. Nothing to be pushed off the back of it though, as Na'Vi maybe just testing their options. You have to remind yourself in situations like that. This is T-side train. You know, we regularly do see results 13-2, 14-1 for the T-side, and Na'Vi have done 8 better than that already against a team that quite literally just did the same thing to Fnatic.
Zeus back through break room here. He's realizing that there's a lot of focus towards that part of the map and towards him. He can't really use that AWP he recovered from Guardian here, and he's just calling out to his teammates, let's head towards B, let's test MBK, let's test Happy, of course, with the AWP. Or at least they may be hoping he's not going to be there, but he's close to Spools right now, and he's watching upper. MBK will be free to sit in that get right spot and watch the ramp down. It's a great hold for EnVyUs now, but Na'Vi, they're going to start to flood out in a second. Let's see what they can do.
Going to be coming down to actually Zeus, trying to cast his eyes on with the AWP, as it's all that's been kind of fallen to him, and he's actually going to go down, unable to take that second shot, and then all onto Flamey. They're all full health, and they are going to pick that one up. It is Envy's first round. It took them 9, but they are going to start to put one on the board and maybe try and build off the back of that one. Of course, let's not consider Na'Vi's economy, because they are going to be sitting so pretty after those back-to-back rounds that Envy definitely going to catch a very small breath before the pressure is reapplied.
And it's important to realise as well the investment that Envy has made in winning this round. They would have put themselves in a real hole had they not won this one. They had to win this round. Otherwise, it's getting almost to insurmountable deficits here. They bring it up though. AWPs are still in the hands of Kenny S and Happy, so they can now start to put these to good use. Guardian, of course, will take one for himself. And it really seems like a lot of focus goes towards Guardian in the early stages of the rounds, but he's happy to just let that happen. Beta, move back back and let the rest of his team do work. So Na'Vi still with good guns, still with the grenades. Time to shine.
Let's see how brightly they can do that. And question marks really surrounding EnVy has been not only their rotations, but just how much they've always seemed to lose that first man. Of course, the one exception was those 2 AWP picks off the back of Kenny and Happy, netting them that first round.
Kenny now smokes towards Ivy, knows how much of a focal point that's been for Na'Vi so far. Seized and Flamey are hoping to work it, and Guardian as well, waiting in the wings for them to start to gain traction in that part of the map. Kenny will stall this one out. We'll be looking just through that little jump spot here. As the rest of Na'Vi actually set down towards Pop Dog. They might want to open things up in mid, let Guardian grab that bomb and push straight back through. But Kenny S is there as well, floating between those 2 sites. Kiyoshima up on the train. Going to be smoking that position out as well. EnVyUs buying time. They're bleeding down this clock.
I wouldn't be too surprised if we do start seeing the number 20 before that bomb does go down. Now 35, and Na'Vi starting to set their sights. This is the wrap. This is exactly what they did before. 3 players in Ivy. They're going to start to apply pressure, but Kenny this time greets them with open arms and a long... Oh, no, not going to get the second. He's going to just keep time ticking away. 20 seconds now, and they are going to have to worry because MBK and Happy beautifully hold on towards B, and this plan has come crumbling down from Na'Vi. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to do it 2 times in a row.
We finally hit that critical mass. But Na'Vi left it so late that a slight slip would probably leave them with not enough time. Now they're being forced into things, given the time is ticking down. Time will run out, of course. Na'Vi will have to give that round up. Still, though, MBK and Kiyoshima going down. Crucially, though, those 2 warps are still in the hands of EnVyUs, and they're going to try and abuse the heck out of those as long as they can. Yep,
finding success with them as well. The fact that NBK and Happy, despite all of this like racket being made towards Ivy, 3 players making themselves known on towards A, still holding their vigil on B, and actually did really show that there's a whole lot of reading going in from EnVy into that round. Real solid stuff from them to find the second, and now it's just going to be a long uphill struggle to try and get some extra numbers on the board. Na'Vi, where do you build from here?
Well, they've got the weapons to do something here at least. I mean, that economy, that buffer they bought themselves early on in the game, now they're starting to dip into that. And they'd love to pick this round up here and once again get back a few more rounds on the trot. Guardian looking, get tags up so heavily there. I think it was Apex in mid actually, just giving him so much trouble, and even Kiyoshima now will take his shot at jumping up on top of the train. Kenny S diligently, as always, watching towards Ivy, but won't actually see any players push forward. Na'Vi have sort of abandoned that as a prospect here, and they're going to try and make their push towards mid out of Pop Dog as well. Guardian and Zeus are there. Zeus and Edwards are coming forward as well. But where are EnVyUs going to be? Happy's there as well. Apex takes down Edward. Flamey responds on towards him. Kenny pushing through that smoke with the AWP out. The flick is brilliant on towards C's. The bomb will go down now. This Zeus, his leg gets hit. Will the grenade be enough to finish him off? He surely won't be around for long now as Kenny's just looking for something to fire at, some way to get involved in this.
Done good job already. It looks like his teammates are going to be following in his footsteps. Good damage done by Kenny in that round. It doesn't look like he's finished just yet. Happy taking a lesson and a leaf out of Kenny S there, picking up that final AWP frag necessary. Flamey did get so close though. 3 big frags towards the closing closing minutes of that round. And now it's going to be the 3rd for EnVy. That's 3 in a row now for the French, and if they can continue down this this road, I think how's Navi's money now looking? They're still going to be going into that full buy despite 3 consecutive losses. That loss bonus starting to kind of match up with what they'd previously acquired. And again, the double up. EnVy have found something that works, and they're going to try and build from there.
Yep. Smoking heavily towards T-Train, flooding out of T-Connector, trying to get on towards that site there. That's the closest they've taken EnVyUs in these last couple rounds. It's good. It's going to have to be better, though, with Kenny S. Molotov forced away. Can't fire out of the tunnel. Kiyoshima up in that corner yet again. Happy is also contributing. Apex is on the side as well. He's looking towards Guardian. There's a player just below him towards his left, but I think he might have just gone down. No, Edward is there. Gets the double. Will he get the 3rd? Kenny S. gets the USP out and shuts him right on down. And Guardian, yet again, has to make something happen. He has to put this together behind that E-box. And Kenny S. sees him. A little bit too canny for that one and sends him packing. And EnVyUs have managed to put 4 rounds together here. Yeah, and that's now 4 in a row. 3 in that round for Kenny as well. And the AWP still paying dividends for the EnVyUs boys. Still no sign of a Navi ego, though, as that's going to be 4. But trying to make it 5. If they close this gap anymore, I do fear for the EnVyUs T side, because it could be scary. We saw what they can do on their T side as well. And this is where things could get really interesting. This would, of course, be Navi's 3rd loss today if, by some twist of events, EnVyUs turned it around.
And that's how important it is for them. They need this win. This win means a whole lot to Na'Vi in order to stay in that kind of top 6 pool of the Pro League. Yeah,
I mean, even a win here might make it hard for them to stay within that top echelon, losing 2 games here. But let's see what can be done, because KennyS is already out of the game. He's already down. Happy does have the AWP in hand there, of course. It was a great start by Flamey to pick him up. And Na'Vi, again, a split. We're still working towards Ivy. They're still pushing the envelope. They're still trying to get through. Double smokes out from them as well to give Seized easier passage through. And Apex is in the smoke. They're trying to spray through it. Apex will go down as Seized. Cheekily enough, will pick him up with some spray.
And now this is a problem. Now just 3 CTs standing, and the entirety of Na'Vi still ready and waiting to execute onto the site. Looking to change that is Keo. Does get one and actually throws out a nade to try and deal some damage to Ivy. Not enough, as Flamey catches him for his 2nd of the round. Now just to Happy and NBK. Oh, what was that? Oh, it whistles past the hip of Edward, and that's going to be a real problem as he does get the 2nd as well. Happy's going to be kicking himself as that frag was fed to him. And Na'Vi pick up 9.
Well, that's their round for Na'Vi right now. They did lose a few. Their buffer was dwindling away, but their persistence has paid off here as well. It seems like for them it's been somewhat difficult in the last few rounds to get an early advantage. They got rid of KennyS though as well. That gave them the ability to push on towards A or on to B, whichever one it may be, rely on their gunplay and not be worried about having shots coming in from all different angles. But look at this, Na'Vi grouping up for the most part. Looks like they're not going to bother with Ivy right now. A lot of focus towards B.
How quickly can the call be made? NBK throws out smoke to delay that push through ramp, but I won't be surprised if they just choose to flash and push on through. Seized is just waiting at the precipice of that smoke as the numbers continue to grow. 4 members just at the brink of that smoke, and they're going to throw out a smoke of their own. Zeus throwing out the flash as well. He's going to be the instigator in this push, and NBK desperate for cover. He's wide open, and so is the site, as now Na'Vi are going to be starting to get that bomb down. Anticipating a push from the back. It's going to be Garden who shuts that down, as he is all over the B site like a rash. And now Keo and Kenny are the last 2 men standing, wondering where it all went wrong.
Well, Kirishima is way out of this one. He's still towards the A side. Might try and make a wide flank if he wants to get involved in this one. KennyS still in CT, does get on towards Edward there as he goes looking for yet another target. But between these 2 EnVyUs players in the time that is left, they must just back away here, save these guns for the last round of the half, and hope that they can put a 5th on the board.
And this is going to be an interesting one then, seeing what they can kind of bring into the battleground, considering, of course, EnVyUs' money is not fantastic by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to probably be an armored pistol if they can throw it all together. No, tell a lie. Okay, I see a FAMAS, I see an M4. It's just going to be Happy and NBK who are going to be scrounging, picking up the pennies from under the sofa to try and bring a bye into this final round of our first half here. Not too shabby. Na'Vi, of course, doing one better. And they started with their push on towards B. They felt like they'd completely thrown all their numbers in towards that one, and yet EnVyUs got caught out before the bomb went down.
Oh, there it is. You cannot count out EnVyUs' eco play, by the way, or their force by performances. They always manage to make it happen really well. Apex going to be struggling to make those shots if he's on the ladder already. He's not really the best place to be bracing yourself to get those hits. But it's a great work there by NBK as Edward takes down Happy. They've slowed down Na'Vi, but will it be enough? Apex going to be rotating in through Connector. It's an obvious place to be watching if you're Na'Vi. You know where EnVyUs going to be filtering through. Flamey takes down Apex as well. He's having a great round. KennyS is going to go low, but he is going to be helped out by Kirishima there as well. Edward goes down as well. Kirishima makes it a 2v2. The bomb is planted, and time starts to tick down.
Zeus and Seized them for Na'Vi to try and clinch the 11th. As Kenny and Keo are almost holding hands on the site. He's come from behind. They weren't expecting it through Connector. And now just 16 points of health. KennyS has 2 to find and not too much time to do it. And this is horrible. He's just going to be walking into one of the Na'Vi players. He has to just make a decision on which one it's going to be. Zeus, what are you doing? Turns around at the wrong moment. He's going to get caught on the cross, though. Fortunately, low enough health for Seized bullets to be enough. 11-4 on the half. What an attack from Na'Vi.
Superb stuff on the T side from Na'Vi. Shaking off some of their doubts from earlier on tonight as well. Some very questionable performances, but they're feeling comfortable here. Have a look at this shot from NBK as well. See you later, Guardian. Thanks for coming. Beautiful stuff from him. And Envy, as I said, they always give you flashes of potential on those eco rounds here. Not so much today. It seems like they've struggled actually to cobble things together. They've only really been winning rounds when they're getting the double AWP set up. They're having to invest deeply in these ones. So it's also credit to Na'Vi as well for their anti-eco play. And they're giving due respect to Envy. I feel like they are here. But I tell you what, their hits towards the B side have been great. The amount of times we've seen NBK get completely caught out by them pushing from both upper and ramp. Very, very hard to deal with.
Oh my god, he's terrifying.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you, Edward. Oh my god.
3 minutes into Netflix and chill and he gives you that look.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Oh my god, he didn't blink, dude. He's terrifying.
Oh god.
All right, so non-blinking tees aside.
I'm on tilt now, thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's actually Lauren. She's responsible for the camera work today. She's going to find him again. Lauren, stop.
So, I mean, EnVyUs now with a heck of a lot of rounds to make up for, but their T side is one that, well, recently they've been very, very good on, even up against the likes of Fnatic. So we're looking for some excellent set plays. We're looking for not only their strategy to be good, but the way they execute there just to be on point.
Yeah, I mean, so this is it now. It's going to be a question of whether Navi can finally find another win against Envy, as this would, of course, be... Well, what is this now? It's been four losses the 5 times they played. That's truly testing for Navi.
It's got to weigh on your mind. There's no doubt about it. But, I mean, with 11 rounds here, it's a nice buffer. To be fair, it was... yeah, I mean, it was a buffer we actually saw at halftime over on Overpass as well. And we saw how that one finished out. So... Can you not? Really?
There's this little, like, train conductor cap as well here on train. And again...
It's like my uncle. That's just seriously tilting me. Oh dear, that was a replay as well. Great to know we're putting this technology to good use.
Our production is really making the most of that replay feature. First, highlighting how wrong I was about that wall bang. Yep, I need to watch that back because my brain really did kind of get DDoSed for that one. And talking of DDoS, where has Envy gone? Lost a man. We are missing. Who are we missing?
Happy?
Where is Happy? He's going to be rejoining us now, and we are hopefully going to get underway relatively soon because there's a lot of question marks surrounding this half. Envy, of course, having a fantastic showing on their T side just yesterday in the Face It League, and I really would be intrigued to know whether or not this is the Envy of yesterday or if it's the Envy that played just today up against Hellraisers, losing out 14-16. I believe it was in Sivo.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and let's look to Happy as well. He was instrumental last night in the win against Fnatic. Great game. Had a really, really, really good game. So, I mean, this is EnVyUs, of course. This is the EnVyUs we've seen for quite some time, but now they need to, they need to think about how they're going to come back from this one. It's got to be sequential. It's got to be round by round, but I'm expecting good things from them. I don't want to curse them here, but after last night, I mean, to get clean rounds on T side off of arguably the best team in the world, you've got to have something up your sleeve.
Yeah, let's see then how they choose to take this. It's going to be an interesting stack from the CTs. 4 players then all grouped up on towards A at the start of this one, expecting a barrage of Ts to swarm the site. But no such luck. And instead, EnVy are going to be taking a bit of a slower pace with this one. It's just MBK who's probably going to be the first encounter over towards Ivy. I say that, the smoke does get thrown out, and it's going to be Zeus who's going to be keeping him busy for a while.
That's right. NBK won't be able to push through that one for the moment here. He will probably just sojourn with the rest of his team for a moment and maybe even give B some consideration here. EnVyUs need this pistol round. I mean, Na'Vi lost a pistol round when they were down by this one. They managed to win the next one, but EnVyUs don't really want that expectation to be heaped on their shoulders here. They just want to make it clean and efficient. And that will have a lot to do with the way that they go about hitting this bomb site now as well.
No nades to work with. You'd usually expect them to have something in their arsenal for an execute on towards B. They're just full Kevlar, so there's not going to be any indication from Envy as to where they're choosing to push. It's all just going to be frags and bodies, and they do start. Unfortunately, on Burstfire, didn't manage to finish that frag, but 2 members of Na'Vi now down to 15 and 19, and now Na'Vi fight back, or rather Edward does with 2 of his own.
Gee, that was brilliant, pushing out a connector, and Flamey as well is going to be able to take down Kiyoshima. Only 1 player left now as Kenny S falls to Zeus, and it was looking so good for EnVyUs now, but what can Happy do? He gets kills, he gets 2, he's looking for a 3rd right now, so he's going to back away in towards that connector. He's got 3 players still to try and juggle, and Flamey will put him down. A flash of hope there as well for EnVyUs, but when Happy's the only man getting kills after his team's dead, it's a very, very hard deficit to come back from in a pistol round like this.
Getting the bomb down, having men up while the bomb is down, that's almost like that should be a win in your books, but no. Edwards double started the ball rolling, and Na'Vi just managed to finish that one off with style. So, picking up the pistol now with a lead like this, 12. Envy, it is starting to heat up. The pressure is starting to mount, and we are starting to see their response. They're not willing to see a 2nd round slip away here on their T side, as it's going to be whatever they can scrape together. MBK does get a Galil dropped for him by Kenny, and we're going to go ahead and see what the 2 rifles and pistols can do here in a second.
Kenny will actually save some money back for an AWP if he can get it as soon as possible, but Apex has gone for the AK here as well, so EnVyUs going for a little bit of a hard force here, really just trying to get another round. I mean, 12-4, it's a sad story for the Frenchman at this stage. There are still opportunities to gain those rounds back. NBK getting a little bit aggressive here towards Ivy. He's going to force Zeus right back and around the corner, and he'll be looking towards the middle of the map. So just one player. NBK maybe not creating enough threat on his own here, as he's going to be dueling now. Guardian's going to get involved in this one as well, and unfortunately 2 is always going to be 1 in that situation, or at least mostly. And NBK will go down. Now sees is free to actually head out that way himself, but Apex watching in towards mid. He can hear Guardian above him, I'm sure of it, but he's got to connect the shots. Nicely done there. Guardian taken out of the equation. Kiyoshima gets involved with the Deagle as well, but Zeus will put him away.
This is it, and then 2 left. Seas and Flamey, they are still making that rifle work. Worthwhile investment for sure, as Apex has done so much. 3 frags already, looking to make a 4th as well as Flamey is going creeping and crawling. I say that, he is so close to picking up the double. Happy down to 7, but EnVy stabilize, and that second round force has netted them the biggest reward of all. Picking up that second round is so important, as they are going to completely reset Na'Vi back down to the Stone Age.
And you brought this up as well. Apex investing heavily for that AK. This is EnVyUs. They're aggressive buyers. They spend their money, while it might seem frivolously to other people, they make it work. These ecos, these half-force buyers, they make them work. And now they're in a position where they can start to get a few more rounds. They have reset Na'Vi. And let's see what they make of this now. Again, spreading out. NBK will be the man at long again. Happy. Cheekily making his way through. Zeus in a very proud position up on top of that rail cart there. And Na'Vi are just going to wait for this push, mostly towards A at this stage.
So you would think, of course, they haven't committed too much just yet. Instead, just looking to go to the shooting range here at the long-distance pistol v rifle. They're definitely just using what they have been given to their favor. Flamey, in the meantime, has done damage with just his P250. Him and Zeus banding together to take a rifle away. And immediately, Kenny and Apex put them back in their place. All then on to Guardian with just a Deagle. 4 armored terrorists hunting him down. And, well, he starts like that. This could get exciting.
Now down to 3 here. The bomb is planted though. Guardian with it all to do at this stage. Looks towards NBK, but NBK sharp with the Galil shot and will be able to take him down now. EnVyUs transitioning. I guess they're transitioning from a risky buy in that last round. Now getting another one on top of it. Now they're starting to pad out their economy that little bit more. And Na'Vi again just have to sort of just hold. They have to hold in mid.
Yeah, so that's a double eco then for Na'Vi. And I say, oh, just as I say that, Guardian keeps it exciting with a scout. He can afford it. And let's see how much damage can be done by him. You do have these nades as well, so he's hoping his teammates' nades are going to do enough to net some one-shot scout plays, and it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. Just that prime example of it, as he is rocking the sexy new scout. Not going to get anything else, so look at this rifle play from EnVy. Even Kenny chiming in with 3 with the AK this time against the unarmored Na'Vi. That's going to be 7 then for EnVy as they start to claw 3 back in a row.
We've got to hand it to Kenny S there as well. He was almost caught in some sort of crazy crossfire. There was a lot of people firing at him. He actually managed to play that really intelligently and get back up from his team. Didn't need an AWP to do some serious damage. He's leading, of course, now 17 kills, 13 deaths, and for a team that's in the hole by about 5 rounds, that says a lot about how you're playing. And for Na'Vi as well, now Zeus going a little bit quiet here. They must lift a little bit. Double AWP for them now. They're making the investment to try and bring things back into their favor.
Let's see how much they can do that then. The bomb's loose, so they're expecting a slow one, and I wouldn't be surprised if that first frag is going to be provided by one of these 2 AWPs, rather 3 AWPs, excuse me. There is a double AWP on Na'Vi, as well as Kenny S wielding one of his own. Let's see who goes hunting. Guardian does swing and hit on towards Kenny S towards Connector. That's a big one, as the AWP presence now nullified for EnVy.
Can always trust Guardian to dispatch of his opposite number early in the round, the better. And now NBK as well, always on Ivy duty for the moment here. Love to just, he's always taking his 1v1s against Zeus, but Guardian can drop back as well whenever he likes and gets the pick on him. Down to 3 men, Team EnVyUs. Bombing held well back. Edward just with complete supremacy over that A side. And it's just limited options for EnVyUs right now. Happy does have an AWP. He goes for the shot. He's not going to connect that to Flamey, and Flamey will back up. He'll be screaming out of his team to get themselves ready on B. Seas is already in position at Connector. And EnVyUs, we need a stroke of brilliance from them right here if they're going to keep themselves with rounds in the pocket.
Looks like they're going to go for the 1-up, 1-down with the 2 players they have left, but that smokes can delay them, and even Seas is going to do one better. Does manage to pick up the final 2 frags necessary with his AWP. Double AWP then. It worked for EnVy. It's working for Na'Vi.
It's accounting for 80% of the frags in that round for Na'Vi. So can't really turn your nose down at that one. and they get themselves that round. Importantly enough, EnVyUs showed signs. They have showed some signs. The same happened last half as well. But their clusters of rounds are isolated. They're, Na'Vi getting some before, and then Na'Vi managed to bring it back afterwards here. We're getting dangerously close now to the magic number 16 here, and EnVyUs just don't really have enough rounds at this stage. ES, again, persisting with the AWP, going glass cannon. Plenty of utility, plenty of nades here for EnVyUs. They're all mostly armored up. And of course, Na'Vi are rolling still with that same double AWP setup. ES must survive the first 5-10 seconds of this round.
Absolutely, and of course that does involve not peeking Guardian, as he previously fell foul too. And look at the damage done to Seas. He's going to be trying to back up out there, and he is going to be allowed to by the EnVy boys, anticipating a fast push. But intel gathered, and I think Na'Vi are kind of a little confused by this one. There's still 3 players starting to almost dig themselves deeper in towards A after that intel has been gathered, assuming it may be a little bit of mischief from the French. And indeed, NBK has made his way back around towards the connector area, just trying to keep the players busy on A. And it's worked. I mean, there's still 3 players occupied on the opposite side to where this hit is about to come through. Yeah, Zeus is still concerned about Ivy right now, even with NBK actually joining the rest of EnVyUs at back A. Guardian still watching towards mid. Edward, of course, up on that spot there as well. So, and Ivy's still very much set up for A right now, and EnVyUs, they're going to make the push here. Let's go. This is going to be good. Flamey then and Seas are the 2 CTs. They're about to be tested, and he looks to be passing with flying colours so far. Just the one, though. NBK puts him back in his place, as it is going to be a 4v4. The rotate comes in, but it has enabled EnVy to get the bomb down safe. Is it going to be a repeat of the pistol where the bomb went down and then EnVy collapsed? Or are they going to have to dig their heels in? Kenny does one better, finds the frag, finds a second as the bodies start to pile up. Now Guardian and Seized. 110 points of health between them. And 3 players. Oh, and he has the Molotov. It could be a taste of their own medicine at the end of this one, if it comes to it. Oh, Guardian now going up against Kenny. Does get the better of him now, and it's 2 AWPs still up for Na'Vi, but they have to get the defuse. You're speaking about passing with flying colours. I think the only flying colour in this round is going to be red, as Seas takes down Happy, puts a bullet straight through him, and now NBK will back away. Na'Vi didn't have the time. Still looking for the kills, though, and getting guns away from EnVyUs. I was just getting excited because it played really well into the red flying colour thing. I liked it, mate. I'm still going to go with it. Yeah, you go with it. That was sexy. I even pulled like a slightly funny face, so that was nice. That's good. Yeah, but that is going to reset Na'Vi, and that's going to be a big leap and a bound into the next round. I say reset. Of course, they do have that residing money left over, and they're going to be quite comfortable going into this one. Another double AWP. They know exactly what they want, and they know how to get it then. Seized and Guardian are the men responsible for that one. And it does look like the same kind of strategy is going to be implemented by EnVy. As you can see, the stack being highlighted there by Lauren. 5 players, all with their eyes dead set on A. Of course, the beauty of this map is that quick rotate time, and Seas has already made his way back over to cast his eyes to ramp. It does mean that Seas, though, is still the only player at B. You can get to connector, but it takes a little bit longer to get across that side. So Na'Vi, a limited amount of control over here, and now here come those set nades in. Seas barking at his teammates. Let's go, boys. They are coming in for B. He's going to have a shot towards Apex. He takes him down as he gets down the ramp. He looks for a second. He won't connect on towards that one. Smoke goes up in front of Flamey now, and he's forced to back towards connector as a flash comes straight on in. Have EnVyUs bought themselves enough time. Guardian is here, though, and he's here to stay. He takes down NBK, but Kenny S getting some of his own back towards Flamey. Kiyoshima now gets the double, and it's just 2 left for Na'Vi. It's 2 AWPs in their hands as well. What can they do as Kenny S gets the plant? Time going to turn on its head. It's all then on to Na'Vi to retake the site, regain control. It's not going to be easy considering the health taken away from Guardian already. Does catch Kyo on the push. Expecting a second through the smoke. He wasn't far off. It's going to be Happy. Gets it through the smoke. Outstanding from Guardian. 3 in this round. Isn't going to be able to give him the 4th, as I have no idea what on earth just killed him. Jumping to the floor in success, perhaps. In celebration, and now it is Seized versus Kenny, and Kenny is trying to be playing the waiting game. Oh, he hits the shot and everything, so but no, lucky. Not going to be happening. No kit for Na'Vi either, and that's going to be another AWP saved. Oh, I tell a lie, the damage was necessary to kill Kenny, and it does do just that, South Park style. Well, I mean, by rights is either Kenny gets killed by the AWP shot or he dies to the explosion there, and that's the second round. That's the second round in a row that EnVyUs have actually won, but they've all been very, very tough. I mean, they've just won them. Their economy last round, you see that I think it was Kiyoshima still had a Galil in hand. So yeah, this is good, but it's not filling up their bank account. You can see it there as well. Apex actually still with that Tech 9. So yes, they're getting the rounds, but margin of error is still quite thin for them. Absolutely, and I mean, look at this. So is their buy. I mean, just a CZ really and a P250 with the remaining AWP, and Kio's just going to be shredding through them. That's going to be 3 for him. Kenny is just going to be finishing off the job, and it is just going to be that one weapon that they brought into the fray remaining. C's desperately going to try and take something away, but this could and will be another round on the board for Envy as they start to tighten the noose and close that gap. It was a terrifying first half, and it looks like the power of the CT side is starting to dwindle on Train if you look at recent results.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it coming into this game. We almost treated it like it was just characteristic to Envy and Na'Vi to have strong T sides. Maybe that's still the case, but right now it definitely seems like this is consistent with how we foreshadowed the game. Both teams with absolutely stellar T sides here. For Team EnVyUs, they're in a position now where they can finish the game on the T side, but it's going to take a little bit more. They're clutching at the coattails of Na'Vi, but they need to catch up a bit more. Kenny has had a great angle, but somehow Guardian has got to it before him. Incredible stuff from him now, and he's going to try and do a little bit more damage now. Up on towards that Train, and Apex is going to jump the heck on out of there.
It's away. Very little damage done to a Happy as well, just brought to 87. He's going to be fine to operate with that Keo. Another crucial frag, this time up against the armored and geared up Flamey. And with level playing field for just a second, Apex strolls into the site using Electric for cover, and it just seems to be a back and forth game. Still no clear sight for Envy, especially considering Keo now has fallen on B, and that bomb was making movements towards B. Maybe NBK is going to hit the brakes though.
Well, EnVyUs have two AWPs to make this push with here. Now, Edward's going to get the better of Happy there. I don't know where he was looking. Definitely not in the right direction. NBK with it all to do. It's not an easy gun to hit a site with, that's for sure. Especially up against two players. He's going to try and work that ramp. Na'Vi seemed to be none the wiser to his positioning right now. We'll see Edward. Will he be quick enough on the trigger? No, he will not. And Edward finishes things off. Lovely little 3K there as well with Na'Vi. Now it's getting scary. EnVyUs, the brow must be starting to become furrowed. As only 2 rounds away from Na'Vi's victory.
Yeah, and it's not going to be an ideal buy either, I don't think. I'm starting to see, yeah, no, some armored pistols as well. Kenny and Keo rocking those, Tech9 and Deagle respectively. And let's see then if they can make an impact. This is doable. This is workable. We've seen the power of the pistols from other players, as well as, of course, Kenny now rocking that Tech9. But, of course, up against that AWP of Guardian.
Pop Dog is smoked off there. Seas just wants to stave off any initial aggression from EnVyUs players pushing out into Electric, especially because Na'Vi have committed some players over towards B, but that's NBK getting involved. Now he's making things work over at Ivy, and Zeus has got to back up on this one. Will Apex be able to get the better of him? No. Very aggressive push.
Very aggressive, almost expecting Ivy to be clear for one reason or another, but either way, that's a frag they cannot afford to give up. It looks like NBK is going to be trying to claw something back for his team. He does so brilliantly, finds 2 heads of Na'Vi. And it is going to be Keo and Happy. Zeus a little worse for wear, but that's not going to stop his teammate Edward doing necessary damage. 1 bullet from that Deagle would be enough to bring this into a 1v1. He does it, and it was the easier target. No, it's Zeus. Now with 19 points of health, does recover a rifle. Keo, not so lucky. 44 seconds. 1 bullet is all it's going to take, Keo, please. He's even using the Deagle Blaze as we see the price rise as more crazy plays continue. That's going to be 2 then for Keo, as finally he can take a sigh of relief and say, why didn't I just take the Tech9? 1 bullet from that Tech9 would have completed that set, and we do see EnVyUs manage to fight for survival and continue to do so with a fantastic round. And look at Na'Vi now. That's going to be the reset, as they did enable them to just pick up the 1 before fighting back.
Yeah, very much a higgledy-piggledy buy from EnVyUs there. All over the place, I guess, their armory was, but now they can shore it up a little bit more. You can see Na'Vi, look at them making this push out towards Ivy here. 3 Na'Vi players going along. They're pushing that one hard. Edward now is going to be tasked with holding mid. He already takes a bit of damage there, down towards 1 health, and MPK is going to take care of him. Where are Na'Vi going? That's the question. They're going to try and get around, maybe? They're going to try and make something happen here on this eco.
Yeah, I mean, look at them just throwing their bodies towards long, and nothing is coming of it at all. Flamey's the only exception to that rule, and that's just because he hasn't quite been found yet, as he's going to try and make a move. Does try and tickle MBK, but that's just going to be his 3rd of that one, and EnVyUs maintain that round. That's going to be, what is that now? 2 in a row for them, as this has just been 3 so far from Na'Vi on their CT side. Trying to do the maths. Was it 4 they got? Yeah, okay. So Envy did get 4 on their TT side. So now we just need 1 extra in order to level the playing field.
Still down to pistols. A couple 5.7s and P250s here for Na'Vi, and not a lot of armor as well. So definitely committing themselves to the double eco here in hopes of just being able to squeeze out those last 2 rounds against EnVyUs. But this will put them very, very close. Let's see what Na'Vi can do with this financial detriment that they have. 3 players over on A for them. Edward actually pushing up quite aggressively, hoping just to get to grips. Maybe he can find a wild Kennius amongst the periphery.
Not sure whether Envy are playing this incredibly smart with his 5-man stack, considering that Na'Vi are still stuck on A, or maybe Na'Vi just have kind of overread into this one. Either way, they have going into a 5v2 scenario if they start to pick up the pace here. And there we go, the call is made as the smokes get thrown out. They're going to have to pull up their shoes and start to run, because here comes C's, just a 5-7, and he's doing damage with the 5-7. 2, 3 for Flamey as he adds one to the pile. And now NBK and Happy are left to finish this one for the French. And Na'Vi, if they win this round, it would be truly insane. But it doesn't look like NBK and Happy are going to let it happen. Early damage done. But fortunately, those deadly duo of NBK and Happy pick up 2 apiece and manage to keep their team in it. That would have been the 15th for Na'Vi. Great damage, though, done by Seized with that early 5-7.
So you're Happy just rifling through the corpses of your teammates to try and find the Dragon Lore. And it was great work by Seized there. I mean, you have to kind of back yourself in those situations, especially when you're sort of half flash pushing into something that's obviously a set play. He disrupted it quite nicely, but EnVyUs had the stack. They were committed towards that site, and as the smoke clears and as the chaos sort of starts to dissipate, I guess those with the better guns will generally sort of get the advantage, especially in those elongated fights. Now Happy's going to push towards C's there. Great work. He's going to head straight back up Pop Dog, though, and just avoid any sort of revenge shots coming in towards him. Flamey with an AWP and Guardian with him as well. They've now saved up. They want to invest in this round. They can't afford to lose it.
Happy potentially just faking that death cam as well. Diving up the ladder to return, as he is going to once again make a resurgence through Pop Dog. There is Edward on site. That would be his pick, and NBK, fortunate to be alive, does have the AWP shot whistle past him. It's going to be a smoke exchange as well, as he does manage to keep both Guardian and Zeus busy, or at least to an extent, because Guardian is one of those roamers. He was going to just have a couple of shots towards Ivy, a couple of shots towards Connector, and he keeps being this kind of pivot point for the Na'Vi defense.
Guardian, though, he's always there. He's always going to be able to pick up the player if they cross his crosshair. And that's Kiyoshima going down now in the 4v4. Still, well, AWPs on the map. 2 for Na'Vi at this stage. See what Guardian can do with it now as he continues to persist here in mid as Molotov goes on towards the side. It's a great flick up to take out Kennius. And now only one player is left. Flamey is chiming in. Flamey makes it his second. And there's Na'Vi. They backed themselves. They had to win that round. And they have done it.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, double AWP is going to be the rule of thumb for Train. Again and again, you see these kind of instances of just like 60 to 80% of those frags all being picked up by that AWP. And it really is just going to be a quick flick from Guardian here. You can see just how quickly he moved that mouse, catching the head of Kenny, no less. And now that's going to put 15 on the board for Na'Vi. This is where it is crunch time for Envy. 2 rounds needed in order to take this into overtime. And they have got exactly what the doctor ordered. They have the double AWP of their own. 4 AWPs now currently on the map.
4 AWPs. EnVyUs, they are more than happy to invest and buy a big in-kind. Let's see if it pays out for them now, of course. I mean, Happy and Kenny S going up against Guardian and Seized. Some big numbers there. Let's see what these guys can achieve, though. So for the most part, things are slowed up a bit. Apex is actually over towards mid. You can see C's there. He'll be on B. And Kennius and NBK, again, they're on Ivy duty. They want to break their way through. There's always going to be Zeus and Guardian. Always likes to duck back and get involved in that one as well. The bomb is still being left in CT as well, near break room. So there's no commitment here. Towards T, sorry, no commitment. But Guardian, always the first aggressor. Always the guy to push up here. You can see him now going straight towards those tunnels. But Apex will shut him down.
Oh, look at that position. That is so damn sexy from Edward.
Wow, he's been doing that all game, actually.
We saw that, of course, previously practiced in the strat mode, but no, not going to be able to find anything just yet. And it does come down then to our final 35 seconds of the round. The bomb starting to move its way over towards that B site, but Na'Vi are ready. It's just going to be NBK who tries to maybe just draw their commitment a little towards A. It doesn't look like it's going to be working because Seized seems to have a good reach, as does Flamey. The bodies are still starting to cause problems, as this time Na'Vi keeping that site safe. Quick rotate then from Apex as he just dive down Pop Dog to try and get the bomb down on A. NBK is nicely positioned for this one. This could be a beautiful turnaround from Envy.
EnVyUs then must win this round, of course. It goes without saying, and he was sitting inside connected, but Na'Vi has circumvented him completely. They're going straight back around towards the tunnels. Well, MVK, he manages to get one, but there's two players firing into that situation, and he's left his buddy Apex on his own to try and keep his team in the match. He's thinking about a Molotov right now. He's got two players just thundering out towards him now. He has to hold. He's got the flash as well. Apex so low in health, and Seas will seal the deal and take down Apex, and as that flame expires, it'll be Na'Vi. Ooh, careful. We've got kids. It's all right.
Scared me there.
Oh, damn. Na'Vi have done it over at EnVyUs there. 16-13, and they finally get their first win of the night against arguably their, well, toughest opposition.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fair to say. Penta was their first game falling on Cash or Cache, depending on where you're from. Second game was up against Titan, where we saw another demonstration of the power of Titan, this time on Overpass, which was a bit of an odd one considering their previous shortcomings on it. But still, finally, Na'Vi put a win on the board. It was a crucial one, as we said, as the majority of the wins when these two teams meet do go the way of EnVyUs. So that's a good one for them, both in morale, but also just to get another win on the board.
Yeah, following the steps of Titan, obviously having their 3 games last night, going 1-2. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom for them as well, of course, but having lost those 2 games, you've got to be kicking yourself now, realizing how long has it taken us to get into gear tonight to get that win against EnVyUs. You know, can I just say, it was just very impressive stuff from Na'Vi. 11-4 at half on T-side train, absolutely deserve that win.
Yeah, deserving that in true fashion as well. And I really have to say as well, just the prowess of the double AWP. Like, quite literally, there's definitely a positive correlation between the time a CT side has double AWP and the time a CT side wins the round. It's becoming more and more of a kind of reliable win for these players. Reminder though, guys, if you are craving more EnVyUs, you are going to be seeing them coming up next. It's going to be our hot match of the week. It is, in fact, courtesy of the Score Esports with a hot match of the week. Fnatic, Envy, always just two names that are so exciting when they go up against each other. It's going to be in best of 1 format over on Cash, so stay tuned and we're bringing you that one Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen. They were so keen to get underway with the next game. They already are into the pistol. It's going to be Fnatic up against Envy here for the Score Esports hot match of the week. And let's see what is already starting to transpire. On the CT side, we have Fnatic. On the T side, we have Envy, and you have just joined us. I'm Alex Machine Richardson, joined by Mitch Ubershouts Leslie. 2
teams here that really thrive at making big rounds out of being in very negative financial circumstances here, but both actually have fairly weak pistol rounds as far as we've seen. But Flusher takes down Kenny. Apex is actually pushing towards Checkers as well, and he'll be able to respond. Kiyoshima also chiming in. Now it's just Olafmeister and Crims to try and make something of this one for their team. EnVyUs have won 35% of their pistol rounds over the last 3 months. It's just as well they're good at ecos, that's for sure. And Fnatic, honestly, are in a similar position. They don't normally win a lot of their pistol rounds here. So I want to see the impact of getting that pistol round win. Whoa. See if that leads out to anything. But Olafmeister is getting involved now. He's here, and he's here to stay. Getting 2 kills, and Crims is also below him as well. Happy, trying to come up behind him there. Kiyoshima takes down Olaf, and it's going to be Crims left on his lonesome. And that'll be EnVyUs winning the pistol.
Starting then with only one redeeming feature being Olaf, but there we do see a nice start for Envy into that one. 2 for Keo, Apex picking up his first, and just the 2 survivors of that one. And look at this SMG buy from Envy. We are going to be seeing... Oh, I thought it was going to be 3. Got a little excited there, but still 2 MAC-10s put into the play. It's going to be Kenny and Happy who are going gangster mode into this. And on the other side of things, just the Kevlar for Flusher. The rest of them steering clear.
JW you can see pushing in towards A main, and Fnatic setting up quite forward on that A side. But still a bomb to boost in around mid mostly here as well. And it's just Kiyoshima really looking at B. So I have to see where EnVyUs want to go with this one. 2 MAC-10s, 1 Galil, and 2 AK-47s to their names. And Apex has already taken a little bit of a bruising.
Now, I'm more interested to see how Fnatic structure this stack, because here the squeaky does get swung open by Happy. That's going to capture the attention of both JW and Crims, and in fact Olaf as well. Surely going to be locking his eyes on towards Squeaky. He does do just that. The bomb on its way towards A as well, so this isn't necessarily a bait and switch, more just a little bit of a recce. As Apex does immediately take Olaf out of the run, and Crims is low, hiding in NBK. Fnatic are keeping the T side honest, keeping them guessing, but it does look like just a question of time. I say that JW does more damage with his CZ before finally being put to bed, and now all then onto Crims, just the Deagle. But then again, we saw what Deagles can do as of late. Not going to happen this time. Kenny's Mach 10 is a little too much, and we are going to be seeing then the second consecutive round for Envy. The fact that Fnatic didn't choose to buy whatsoever meant that they were really looking to have a very, very comfortable third round. Well, excuse me, Master's Hard fourth. And so again, we are going to be seeing just a couple of nades and a P250 for 3 of them.
There is a lot of respect coming out here from EnVyUs towards Fnatic as well. The pace of that round should definitely be an indicator of this fact. We did see Apex, actually, he made his way on towards Highway, and that was where things start to be opened up here. They used mid well, EnVyUs, but now Fnatic looks like they want to deny that now with the JW pushing up really aggressively. He gets taken out by Happy, and Happy wants to get another spray down right here. Crims has gone quite low, but so is Happy, and Happy bites off a little bit more than he can chew, and Flusher will send him south. Back and forth here as Kiyoshima takes on Pronax as Flusher thinks about Vet for a second, then goes into mid.
Those 2 frags are reward enough in this round. An AK is an addition for Flusher. That's big. And, I mean, the bomb, it's going to be planted on towards B. And I think Fnatic are just going to be quite happy with what they've already achieved in this one, especially considering just how low they are. I mean, Olof sitting on 18, Crim's not too much more. And what? Kyo catches Crims! Unbelievable! Now then, just Olof and Flusher remain. I mean, they're just trying to keep that AK alive. I think that's the clearest thing. Not again, don't you dare! He tickles him! Just so close, down to 18. He's been desperately trying to keep that little scrap of health he has left. It does look like he's going to go away unscathed, as are Envy. And the AK is preserved as well. Good work then from Fnatic, making the best out of a bad situation with just their USPs in hand. And that's going to be a very, very strong start into this one for Envy as well. Getting those 3. And look at this shot from Kyo. What was the indicator? Was it Crims just making a little scrap of noise, even finding his head through that as well?
Doesn't get much better than that, lining that kind of stuff up there. But, I mean, look, Fnatic, you could see they were wanting to play these first 2 rounds fairly conservatively after losing the pistol. So, yeah, absolutely, you're dead right. They're more than happy with that result. But now Olofmeister moving forward in towards mid. At least being a presence there, smoking up. And EnVyUs making their way towards A. Pronax will be waiting there as well, flashing towards A main. He'll set himself over towards Quad, some wallbang as well in towards Squeaky. He's taken a little bit of damage, but he's returned some to Happy now. It's just Pronax on the A side right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Fnatic rotate comes in rather swiftly. Yep, JW and Olof are on the way, and it does maybe a little too late, as it is just going to come down to the 2 of them. Never tell a lie. All 4 members of Fnatic have made themselves known, and now it's going to be Olof who draws first blood, but immediately Envy bite back and bite back hard. That's 3 between Kyo and Kenny. And then, I was going to say, Ricolasta comes down to 2, but just 1 as Kenny finds his second of the round. And that, my friends, was EnVyUs just claiming the A site for themselves. Fnatic getting a little caught out on that rotate, forced into maybe the less than ideal positions, and that's going to be then all onto Crim to just try and keep the EnVyUs boys honest. He does so by taking Happy out of the running.
Happy being the key player for EnVyUs against Fnatic last night, but despite him going down, it definitely seems like EnVyUs are in control here. Last time Fnatic played Cage, it was actually against TSM, and it was a loss for them as well. They lost 16-9. So, again, I don't want to read into that one too much here as well. We know what Fnatic are definitely capable of here. So, no, sorry, that was Envy who actually lost to TSM. So, still something I did want to bring up here. Fnatic now have to let those 4 rounds go by the wayside. Crim still has the M4 in hand here. But, I mean, such aggression pushing towards that A side. Kiyoshima coming over the top of that red container and just getting the work done as well. Olofmeister looked like you got caught midway up on that ladder there as well. A bit unfortunate for him. You can't really rely on your accuracy when you're on a ladder at all. It just doesn't work at all. So, let's now see what Fnatic go for. Olof not going towards mid this time. JW will do that instead, and he will just set up close towards Highway. Flusher, actually, with the AWP in hand this time over at B.
Yeah, so Fnatic not going to be making the same mistake again, making sure they have plenty of presence on towards the A side. But Envy have other plans. They're going through middle, and actually Apex is going to be the arrowhead in towards that highway area. Not going to be happening as Olof just managed to go for the Mag 7 snipe. Hold on a second, I only just saw what weapon he is indeed wielding from that range, but fortunately Happy's not going to let him pick up any more. In fact, Happy's going to do one better as he finds 2. Crim's fortunately finally finding that frag, but in the meantime, Envy have made good work in towards B. Kenny through check as he's going to be trying to get that bomb down, unless Flusher can catch him on the cross. He's going to be able to do just that before the flash catches him, and now he has the bomb.
Wow, that's really unfortunate bouncing of where the bomb ended up here. Now they have to challenge Flusher to get this bomb away, but he misses the first shot. He will almost get taken down, and he does, but Crims is there to at least respond and make this into a 1v1. Kiyoshima has a grenade in his hand. He does have that AK, and he's got the bomb. 3 important factors. He's now going to get behind those boxes. He might even challenge here and fake it up just to try and take Crims off guard. Crims very quiet last night in Fnatic's loss to EnVyUs. This time, there's a bit of weight on his shoulders right now to make something special happen here. 2 kills already for him in this round, and he's got to challenge his 1v1.
Does have a good idea that Kio's going to be coming towards upper, but then again, he was second-guessing himself. Quick flick is all it takes, and Kio does find Crims' head, and EnVyUs continuing. 8 frags for Kio as well. He is looking outstanding. Just 5 rounds in, 5-0, yet to get off the starting marker so far here in the Pro League. And look at this. You can just see that so far, Envy have never really had a perfect round. Every single time they have been tested by Fnatic, but so far, so good.
Fnatic now, well, hoping to just throw something together here, I think, as Pronax does have the CZ in hand. There's a couple of Deagles as well as JW actually not going to buy anything. And they might come back to haunt him there as he does go and get taken down by MBK, but Flusher as well. Great response. The Deagle towards Apex was on point. And now let's have a look at where the setups are. EnVyUs still mostly towards mid. They're actually going to rotate away from that B side, but happy there's a bit of aggression coming in. And that was Pronax trying to be a menace in mid. He is sent packing by Kiyoshima though, and EnVyUs with the player advantage. And they're on the move towards A.
I like this from Olaf, though. I think he's hearing footsteps in A main. He's going to be making the call to his team. Not only that, he's going to be creeping and crawling from behind. He could cause damage here. They have vacated A main, though, and the damage done to his teammates, which does spell trouble for one man and his Deagle. Going to be able to do enough. Actually hitting 2 shots does choke the French down, but no kills coming in. No permanent damage done. And it's just going to be NBK then, who continues to pick up more frags, as it does look like that's going to be still just Pronax and JW sitting on 1 frag for them and 10 for Kio, who's started phenomenally. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see him continue to get a little bit, I don't want to say over-aggressive, but whenever I see an outstanding player on EnVyUs, I usually expect them to go for something a bit crazy.
Yeah, and Kiyoshima as well has been doing just that, and he's actually been able to make it work. A lot of mid-air shots that he's connecting, so that's to his credit. We'll see it when he bites off more than he can chew if it ever does happen. Pronax pushing up aggressively in towards mid. Smoke is obscuring EnVyUs, but Pronax will be there. He sprays down 1. He's looking for the spray down on Apex, and he gets it. Bomb is dropped in mid as well, and Kenny S now thinking twice about poking up on that boost spot.
That's big, and that's going to be potentially the first step towards Fnatic's first round. Pronax doesn't look like he's finished just yet. He's going to try and catch an angle on Kenny, but that Molly's going to force him out. Does land the tag, but not enough. Pronax gets his 3rd. This is incredible from the Fnatic in-game leader, and now mid-control is seized. The bomb is lost, and Envy realized that it would have to be quite a miracle in order to acquire anything with this one, other than getting away with their lives. Doesn't look like that's going to be happening either. Pronax with 4, surely not a 5th. He sprays and actually does connect a whole lot of bullets. It's just 12 points of health now left on Happy, and this could be beautiful. Olaf snatches what could have been the ace. He even landed a heavy, heavy tag, and that is going to be Fnatic's first.
Aggression in mid. You see, Fnatic are not willing to give that one up. We've actually saw it earlier tonight on Case. Pronax is right here to get the spray down. It almost goes awry against Apex, but he's there. He's really pushing the envelope here, and Fnatic, even after losing 6 in a row, are not willing to give over those positional advantages to EnVyUs, and it's definitely taken them off guard. They had an AWP watching A and AWP watching B. It's going to be very hard for everyone to break through later on in that round.
And look what we're seeing again. We're no stranger now to the double AWP play, and it's going to be coming out not only on Train here on Cash as well. Something that Titan do like to do as well. This time it's Fnatic who decide to wield it. JW and Olaf picking it up, and JW was the first to be tested, didn't quite hit his shot, and it's going to cost the Ace side and the Fnatic side dearly. Look at this go! Just taking it in turns. 1 frag apiece for the majority of them. Kenny was the one to take 2. And now, just Olaf. He does have his AWP, and I don't think Apex is going to be anticipating him quite in spawn. And Olaf has to decide, do I even want to show myself here? I guess I'm going to have to now. Just pick up 1 with the PT50. Not going to get the 2nd. And decision not quite aiding the Fnatic cause there.
Now, it's hard to kind of know what Olafmeister was trying to go for there.
But could you not have sat in spawn and maybe kept the AWP or go for something crazy? It's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, but the real problem there stemmed from JW. Unfortunately, he is only 1 kill and 7 deaths right now, so he's really struggling to make that impact. It was a shot that he had the first peek on there. He was already watching the angle, and for him to lose that to Kenny S, I mean, Kenny S is brilliant, but it is worrying. He's now going to go for the Mag 7, maybe change things up, get up nice and close and personal, and see if he can disrupt Envy on their push.
Always makes me laugh when JW does pick up the Mag 7, but you know, considering how he AWPs, it's almost like he has a Mag 7 all the time. They're going up nice, close and personal, no matter what weapon is in his hands. And now, just look like an early exchange has been favourable for Fnatic, as Happy does bite the dust, and we are seeing a wall of blue just all the way across Cash, a big line of it. as they have got a whole lot of mid-control. Apex looks to challenge that, but just for a second before Flusher does return.
Not bad from Apex, but he was definitely putting himself out in the open to take that kill. And now most of EnVyUs are thinking about B. Long and hard. They get to push it as Olofmeister starts to sneak his way into position. He's actually on the side, just around the corner. Very, very hard to deal with if you're EnVyUs now. So how do they go for it? That's the question. MBK wants to open things up in mid, but Pronax is far too sharp on the shot and response. He will go down eventually from Kiyoshima, just with a bit of a wrap. It looks like EnVyUs might actually rotate towards A. Olofmeister, the little trap he sprung, he's not going to come to fruition, but he will try and get a sneaky flank around as EnVyUs hope to use mid to their advantage.
Okay. EnVy have the health advantage for sure, but the numbers speak volumes about how Fnatic have played this round. 2 players in middle, and Olof can hear them both, and he's going to play it smart, not letting them know the information has been gathered, instead turning around and hightailing it back to B in order to provide a backbone for this defense. It's going to be beautiful. Flusher finds one, and there is still Kenny standing. They are all low, but he only has an AWP, not too favorable for him, as he is going to get hunted down, not going to connect the first shot, what would have to have been of many. And that is going to be the second then for Fnatic, primarily off of the M4 work of Flusher as he acquired 3 in that round. Still JW rather low on the scoreboard. It's kind of unusual to see 1 frag so far for him in the 10 rounds of play.
It's interesting to see as well, the first round that JW would have had an AWP, he actually passed it over to Flusher to take towards mid there. So you can read into that however you want. I don't pretend to be an expert on exactly how Fnatic their inner machinations work, but JW, well, the numbers speak for themselves. He hasn't exactly been the force that he has been in recent times now. EnVyUs, the fan out. Kenny S gets the better of JW yet again. He pushed himself up towards A main, and Kenny S is going to come away with his scalp. This is going to force a smoke from Pronax now. He has a Molotov as well. He can stall, but Happy will be coming from A long as well. You can see him right there, hoping for a little bit of a spray through the door. Kiyoshima takes down Olofmeister on the B side. So many options opening up here for EnVyUs.
This is going to be really, really scary for Fnatic. Just 3 left, and the entirety of the French side still on the hunt. Kenny now gets another chance to take down Pronax, but not going to be taken. As Pronax now dealing with Squeaky and doing well, so well. Doesn't take too much of a beating. Still 72 points of health. His heart still beating very, very clearly. And EnVyUs, they still aren't particularly fussed about where this bomb's going to go. Yes, it is in the hands of Kenny, but still. We have Kyo demanding something on B, and in the meantime, Pronax challenges out Kenny again.
Exactly how JW died here, but Crims will still respond on towards Apex. Kenny S was hoping to catch a glimpse of him here, but he might just back away from A and work through mid because B's already open. Kiyoshima took down Olofmeister early on, and he's been sitting on their egg. Now's the time to let it hatch. Kenny S will bring that bomb to the site. Flusher really has to hot-foot it across to this one. There's already smoke towards the lobby, and Crims is, well, he's still concerned about mid. So EnVyUs able to, really disillusion Fnatic a lot here. They're going to get a clean bomb plant. They're going to sit on this one, and Fnatic are not even going to bother trying.
Yeah, that's the wise choice to make. I think it's going to be keeping themselves not only the weapons, but the armor. Excuse me, I am slowly dying, I think. I think Lauren, I've caught something from Lauren.
Well, I think she got it from me in the first place as well.
Was it you that started? Yeah. You're like patient 0 in the office with this.
I'm breeding a super virus and everyone's just catching it off.
I'm not going to lie, it's suddenly become so damn cold in Germany. I have been catching most definitely some sort of sniffles, is the nice way to put it. And we are going to be seeing them safely save. That's going to be all too easy, and Envy getting away as well, just hanging out in what was Kiyoshima's den. He stayed there for the majority of the round over on B. Finally then decided to, as you said, let it hatch and push on in towards that site in order to claim both the plant and the round. 8-2 then the score, as EnVyUs T side has looked very, very comfortable.
And it seems like EnVyUs have been happy to use Kiyoshima either towards A or B. They're mixing it up. The last few rounds he's been at B and he's been dominating as well. He's 13-3 right now, so he's definitely having the impact that EnVyUs are hoping that he will. They're just trying to let him free on those bomb sites, open things up. The entry frags are coming through thick and fast. And here's Kenny S with the AWP yet again. Fnatic with a bit of an odd buy here as well. It's only a P250 for Pronax at this stage.
Okay. Kenny was finding so much action over on towards A main just before. But no, it doesn't look like it's going to be happening this time. The boost from Fnatic is going to be something different, trying to throw something else in towards the mix. And I say that, does look like Envy are going to be trying to follow suit as well, considering that they are not going to be turning their attention towards A after the initial exchange.
Envy they're spending their time quite well here as well. They know that they have a minute or so still, and they're happy to pull away from the A side. If they don't get any gimmick frags there, they don't want to sort of put themselves at risk from jumping into a set play. But here's Pronax through the smoke in mid. EnVyUs are trying to work through there. The smoke was well placed, and now Flusher will Molotov in towards Checkers, but there's NBK. Great little tag on towards Flusher, but Flusher manages to get one back in response. He gets the kill. Now he's pushing out quite aggressively there, but he has to back up. The smoke's covering up, and JW has to get back as well.
Flusher is so lucky to be alive. Fortunately, Keo does shatter that dream. Happy does the same for Olof as well. As actually Apex connecting a little tag through the smoke. Does actually force JW to push through, and now we find ourselves in a 2 versus 3. JW needs to find more. He's already found one, doubling his score so far in this game. KennyS puts him back in his place, and now it is going to be a 1v3. Crims has health to work with, but I think Happy is going to be caught out here. Now 2 more to find. And Kenny, oh my god, no problem. No cigar. 2 for him in that round, 2 for Keo, and nothing for Fnatic.
Again, JW is struggling to have an impact. He got completely shut down in that round there by KennyS, and he wasn't even like Flusher peeking aggressively, putting himself in quite a dangerous situation. Flusher was quite fortunate. I mean, JW went for the peek towards B main and just got stomped there. And this is very, very hard for Fnatic now. They'd like to use JW as a pivot for him to rotate around as well, and he's just not present for them. Maybe in body, but definitely not in mind right now. And EnVyUs out 7 rounds in front.
How many more can they build on? And again, great pick this time. Flusher is the first to bite the dust. Looks like a second might be soon to follow. It's JW who does get tagged up through the smoke. Of course, this is an unarmored Fnatic. We expect them to fall quite quickly. And they just keep on coming. Olof does manage to find something. It was actually Crims who did it for him. But I mean, Envy, they're in the site. They've got all the frags they need. And now it's just going to be a question of Olof saving the AK and Crims maybe catching someone on the exit.
Oh, there goes Crims down. That's the spray through the wall. And EnVyUs seem to have that one down to a T at the moment. And it's just Olofmeister left. I mean, I've got to give credit to Happy there. I don't know how he survived so long in mid against 2 players there. It was only Olofmeister's flank that eventually took him out. But he still got a kill even switching to his pistol there as well. Really impressive stuff from him. And Olofmeister will just take 5 over here at the A site. The bomb is down. It's going to blow up. Fnatic are going to be going down 8 rounds here. Attack pause wouldn't go too wrong here for Fnatic right now. Something is just not clicking for them here. And Olofmeister now just has to sit back and let it happen.
Yeah, something most definitely is a miss from Fnatic. Of course, these guys just playing yesterday. And we saw EnVyUs pick up that win in a very strong fashion. I mean, we saw them besting Fnatic. Was it 16-3?
Yeah.
16-3
yesterday. It was 16-3.
16-3 on trade now. I mean, this isn't going to be the same scoreline you would expect once Fnatic do kind of get their teeth into their T side. But EnVyUs already reaching double digits, just 12 rounds in. That's impressive.
I mean, T-side case, I mean, you've got to be happy with yourself here. This is definitely a great position to be in now as NBK up in towards mid, but Olofmeister has taken out the threat, the menace of Kiyoshima, but NBK finds a head of Flusher. JW will respond, gets 2. He's doubled his frags for the game in this round, and now KennyS will manage to take him out though. Manages to put him down before he becomes too much of an issue, but Happy again, just trying to get some happy taps over on towards Olofmeister, and he is. It's just Pronax and Crims left now as well. Only flashes for them. Still armored up, still healthy. And that may be all they need for this one here as they go straight at it from Highway.
Oh, interesting. Going to be a flash from Pronax to try and catch one towards A main, but look at that teamwork. Pronax and Olof all onto Kenny then as he's going to try and use the smoke to escape, and he does so, just narrowly getting away with his life and the bomb. This round ain't over yet, folks, because he is about to go on, I would expect, a whirlwind mission to be. So do Fnatic. Look, Pronax on the way towards B, but Kenny has other plans. He's going on a creepy, crawly, sneaky mission towards A, and it's going to be him versus Crims, and he's just by the door. I don't think Crims is anticipating this. Oh no!
Oh god.
This could open. Oh! Crims, no way! No! Oh, Pronax sighs as he has to go all the way back towards A. That is so funny as now it's going to be. This could potentially be a 3K for Kenny and bringing the round home for Envy.
The only thing, look, Kenny split Fnatic's 2 players in half purely by stepping back. They didn't know where he was. They thought he could have gone to B. There was a possibility. So Fnatic had to commit 1 player to that. Split the 2v1 into 2 1v1s, and you're golden. Now, KennyS up against Pronax. He's on the bomb. KennyS gets it done. What a beautiful clutch from the man. And 10 to EnVyUs. Now, 11 rounds to 2. Absolutely stellar stuff.
Yeah, that's going to put Fnatic in a dire situation as well. But you can just see Crims had no idea. He felt like he had this unpredictable angle on Kenny or not. Bomb went in, and Pronax fell not too long after. Fantastic stuff there from the AWPer, the all-star AWPer, regarded as one of the best in the world for a very long time.
And you can see it's not just his aim skill, it's his brain as well. Brilliant way to bring that round back. And now Fnatic aggressively pushing towards B main here. Flasher tries his chances there, but he's going to have to back up there. Smoking himself as well. Happy might be pushing in towards Checkers as well. This could get very, very hairy for Fnatic as Pronax is looking for someone, but Kenny S finds him. Flasher just gets across the door, and now Happy will take him out.
Yeah, this is a last-ditch excuse me, what is happening to me? A last-ditch effort for Fnatic, and it does seem like that has kind of gone unnoticed by EnVyUs as they are all going to be starting to fall. Apex, oof, hang on a second, does go down, as does MBK. Don't you dare get a third, not too far off it. Kenny is the one to secure it after getting chunked down to just 11. Fnatic invested heavily into that round, so they're going to have to try and do exactly the same thing again, this time with a little more. And they're looking to try and stave off 13. 13, Mitch, in one half. Where is Fnatic and who is this EnVyUs? I mean, this is two days in a row where they've picked up a scoreline like this up against the cream of the crop.
It's just bizarre as well. So much waxing and waning from our top teams in these last couple days. I mean, EnVyUs just coming off a loss there to Na'Vi on train. Now they're just romping over the top of Fnatic. But now Kiyoshima's pushed himself into A. They're now using that cannon, that wrecking ball, should I say, on this part of the map. But Chris will be waiting, and he takes him out. Headshot, but the Famous always going to do the job. Olafmeister backing up into that corner near quad, but MBK chimes in on Crims elsewhere on the map. MBK with his second as well. He's entering this bomb site like an absolute beast. And Kenny S, all he has to do is chime in with that shot, and it's just going to be Pronax left. He's coming around from truck. He's got a heck of a lot of work to do, especially with the bomb down and only a Famous in his grip.
EnVy then, off the back of a loss against Hellraisers just earlier today, now secure 13 in one half up against Fnatic here on Cash. Astounding starts to what could very well be a very short-lived final game. This is, of course, our hot match of the week, and I mean, I don't think many people would have called a scoreline like this on the half. Astounding T-side here on Cash.
We have seen, well, to be fair, we have seen no shortage of very incredible moments. Unfortunately, they haven't really been equally shared between EnVyUs and Fnatic. Fnatic are struggling right now, and the scoreboard tells a heck of a lot of the story as well. We'll be able to see it when we get into our second half. JW, couple of frags coming up there, but they're not through his normal MO, his normal modus operandi, as it were. He's pulling out the CZ, you know, he's pulling out the Mag 7 and getting kills, but his AWP dominance doesn't seem to be present right now. It's Kenny S just going massive. He's definitely been warmed up tonight. He's played a few games. He's feeling super confident. And EnVyUs just seem to be more than happy pillaging their way through the map and taking down Fnatic in these 1v1s.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely been the factor here, is that there's been a lot of challenges from Fnatic. You know, I mean, I just cast my mind back to Pronax challenging Kenny out on main twice before Kenny getting that frag. Maybe a couple of misreads. But either way, here we go. This is a big pistol for Fnatic. If this goes the way of EnVy, they will be just 2 away from victory up against the Swedish side of Fnatic. And here we go. Fnatic set themselves up for a big hit on towards A or not. What was that?
Oh,
Wasted
dear.
investment. And it looks like one of their smokes is going to land as now EnVy prepare to defend. Or I say EnVy, just happy lingering in the smoke. And he's found himself a nice little hidey hole. Does see the bomb go down. Don't you dare. If only the smoke was a little closer to that bomb, he could have gone for something, but no. Now 4v4 as the backup has arrived. The cavalry swarms in towards quad, and look at them. It's a big pile of them. It's a big pile of Fnatic, and it seems to be going back and forth. Now 2v2.
2v2 now, Kiyoshima just around the box. Now going to go around the other side of Rent Container and hope just to get a cheeky shot, but JW's here. There's the 1B from Kiyoshima. He must get this one shot on towards Crims. He has a Glock in hand. He can spray that one as much as he likes. Time is ticking down. Kiyoshima gets it done, and he's got the kid in hand as well. It's a 4K for the man, and that pistol round win from EnVyUs may well have just sealed Fnatic's fate.
Truly beautiful stuff there from Kiyoshima. He was the one biding his time as the rest threw their bodies into the site, and yet he nets him 4 kills. He's been outstanding in this game, 19 frags for 5. It's a rarity to see him die so far in this game, and now just 2 more rounds needed for his team. Only one man from Fnatic has actually breached the 10 kill figure, and that's going to be Crims. And now we're going to be seeing what Fnatic can do here in this round. This is an important round for them. You've seen how heavily they've invested. Look at those nades, Molotovs, everything they can possibly bargain to try and cut them down here on A.
Much more into utility than into firepower here. You can see they've all got armor, they've all got nades, trying to stall or break their way towards these sides here. But Apex is always there. From Rafters, takes down Crims. A lot of smoke towards A main. Fnatic, they have to commit to this one, and they will. Olafmeister goes towards MBK. Pronax is going to get taken down. The P90 of Kenny S is going to wreak absolute havoc on Fnatic, and it's just JW left now with a CZ and a bit of smoke to obscure him as he backs away in towards Squeaky. He runs for his life.
It's a nice molly just to try and keep EnVyUs warm as they acquire their 15th. And then it all came down to this, as cliched as it may be. Fnatic only picking up 2 rounds, and now look at their money. This could very well be another, almost a repeat of what happened yesterday over in FACEIT. 16 is so damn close for EnVy, and such a pipe dream for Fnatic at this point. And the French, look at their buy as well. A couple of SMGs to try and shred through Fnatic. It's all they can kind of cobble together, it seems.
Fnatic have won 5 rounds against EnVyUs in these last 2 games that we've seen from them here. Oh, Olafmeister gives us a bit of magic on towards Apex in mid, but will it be enough? I mean, it's definitely not a well-armed force here for Fnatic, but Olaf is still going to take charge of mid, work his way up, and see what Fnatic can sort of transition into from this play.
Olaf trying to find a second, but MPK, whoa, from a distance! The world is blue and green, or rather, a whole lot more bluer for the EnVyUs boys. Now, though, they just have 3. It's going to be question of what NBK can continue to do with this MP9, or rather this, it seems like a sniper P9. And the bomb from Fnatic is on the way towards A. It's 1 man to receive him. It is happy. And let's see if he's going to be laughing now.
JW backing away in towards lobby, couple shots towards him from A, but he manages to escape unscathed, and Fnatic have players at A long as well. Has he just sold the fake here on behalf of Fnatic? Happy turns around the last minute. He's a truck now, not a great position to defend this site from, and Fnatic have been let onto this one. Pronax is going to get the plant down easily enough, and JW will be the aggressor here at truck. Will he go down? No, he's got the P90. He takes down MBK and Happy, and that's what Fnatic needed. They're digging their claws in, they're digging their heels in, and they may just be able to keep themselves in this one.
Yeah, this should be the 3rd then for Fnatic, and you can see how much damage is being done. Look at them, they're all so low. He's going to throw paper clips at them to finish, and he's only going to find 1 with the USP trying to back away. Keo has then to add a couple of extra kills to his collection, but that is going to be Fnatic battling for survival. 21 frags now for Keo, as Pronax and Crims escape the premises to try and keep those weapons and that armor alive. And they are going to require that as well. So Fnatic pick up their 3rd, and EnVyUs not quite going to be finishing this game just yet.
No, it's well played by them as well. I think purely JW showing around mid. I think it was Highway, and actually making, and they sold the fake essentially as well, with 3 players of Fnatic ready to push on towards A. And by the time I think it was Happy knew what was going on, he was back at truck. He wasn't able to stop that push onto the site. But now Fnatic with 3 rounds, they've at least managed to get themselves some guns, despite losing some players, but this will be important. Obviously, every round from here is important here. JW has lifted it in a big way. I've got to give him credit for that, but will the rest of Fnatic lift with him?
Look at that aggression straight towards Squeaky, trying to catch an early pick on towards the A side, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. But then again, Fnatic are flooding in. They are just trying to take control, and they will do just that. 2 members down, make it 3, as Flusher is going to collect the head of Apex. But damage was done in return, and EnVy, they're not out of this one. It's going to be, oh, maybe now, Kenny. Caught by JW, but Keo bites back with 1 to Flusher. Now it's a question of how much he wants to do in this round, and with the bomb down, I think he realizes that his hopes are starting to dwindle, and instead he's going to go ahead and just make sure the B site's all in order. Yeah,
I mean, EnVyUs go to eco after this round. Fnatic managing to steal a couple away from them, and EnVyUs buying aggressively, as they are known to do, to try and finish this one off. So tenacity being demonstrated here from Fnatic, managing to hold on, digging their claws in on the cliff edge here. This is not bad. This is how you do it. 1 by 1, Fnatic hope to stack a few more rounds together. Hiroshima will also go down to Olaf, and that's another gun taken away. EnVyUs could have had that next round. They're definitely on hard eco.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough one. They are going to probably just try and acquire that bomb plant, if anything. Going then into this one, we are seeing a couple of armor buys. I think that makes it very clear that it's going to be the double eco. Going for that force, and then into this one, just equipping themselves as best they can for what could hopefully be the final round for EnVy. Not, though, for Fnatic, as they want to take this all the way. It would truly be something of legend to pick up a comeback of this capacity. 15-3 was the score. I'm going to write that down just in case things go rather crazy.
When Fnatic is in the driver's seat, you can never be too sure. Especially when they've got so many rounds to make up here. Definitely possible for this team now, as Crims quick glance towards the boost spot, just in case EnVyUs were going to go for any sort of weird stacks toward mid and try and take them off guard, but they have stacked A. That's where the bomb's going right now. Pronax opens the door, and he opens it up on Kenny. We'll get that first kill on towards him, but it's just bit by bit here. They know EnVyUs probably aren't armed all that well, and Apex is just going to be forced away from Forklift here as well, and back off as Olafmeister picks him up.
Where do you go from here? Is the question. Keo, MBK, and Happy then, after losing 2 early players. This investment into the round has not really netted them anything yet. No reward, and I think actually as NBK does start to push on highway, he's going to kind of miss out on all the action over towards A. In the meantime, you can see Happy and Flusher about to have a little bit of a dance.
Happy right behind the box there. Flusher has a good idea of exactly where he's going to be here. And with Fnatic start to apply a little bit more of this weight to their plate to this bomb side, and with Olofmeister opening things up here as well, that was Happy going down at B as well. So Fnatic, what's on for young and old now? They're going to get this bomb down. And NBK, there's no reason to really sit back, see if he can get some guns out of the hands of Pronax. Will be his first target. He does get him. Great shot towards the head. Seeing so much classy deagle work from these guys. Flusher will expend the rest of his clip to finish the round.
Some gymnastics from NBK. I'm sure there's some fancy name for that one.
It's a compromising position if I've ever seen one.
That was yoga. That's what he was. He was limbering himself up for the next round.
Aligning his chakras, as
Exactly,
it were.
yeah. I'm sure there's some other words around yoga. But either way, 15-5. Is this really about to happen? Or are we about to see Envy pick up the win? So much of a comeback needed in this round. Or sorry, excuse me, in this game. This round, no exception. As it's time to see what they can do with just a couple of art pistols and some armor.
No one's shocked to see the double eco here from EnVyUs. They've got such a bank of rounds to work with here. But Olofmeister having to back away. A great aggression from Apex to take the gun out of his hands and take him out of the round. But now what? Kiyoshima shot towards Crims. Crims will get the better with that AK. Or the Deagle was threatening. And there's Crims with a second. Kenny S. He's just going to pile on him with the rest of his teammates. And that's Fnatic players being taken down. Rifles being handed over to EnVyUs. Kenny has one. And there should be another one to come of that last kill. But Happy again has to just sort of chill on this bomb site for a second as Fnatic are coming through. But Kenny S. takes down JW. Here's a push on. Pronax will be able to take down Happy, but it's a 2v1 situation. Pronax is on his own. He's got the bomb. That is something. He goes for the fake, and NBK will descend the stairs. Pronax may try and pull out of B completely here. This will leave EnVyUs completely mystified for at least the moment, but there's only 45 seconds left. And yes, Alex, that's enough to work with. That's enough for Pronax to get to A. But Fnatic were looking, honestly, in context of this round, so dominant till just now.
EnVyUs spent so little on this round and they've found so much. This could very well be the end for Fnatic. 30 seconds and counting, and Pronax is still going full Sam Fisher stealth mode through middle, desperately.
Ooh.
Hang on a second. I was going to say trying to get the bomb down on A. He hasn't quite got the perfect read. Expecting a presence on A, and so instead he could come into contact with both of them. This is so beautiful! Oh no! Oh not! He had the perfect lineup, and it is not going to be enough. Pronax 2 heads just staring him down. It's not going to be that exciting in the end, is it? It's going to be Envy then, who pick it up in beautiful fashion. That's going to be another outstanding victory for the French.
Absolutely brilliant stuff there from Envy actually in that game. Great start to it, and then at the end as well. Got a little bit lucky there. I think Pronax was trying to set up the cheeky little drag, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to get onto the head of that first play, and that definitely, well, I mean, definitely a bit of a fluff there as well, and that I feel like is a bit metaphorical for Fnatic over these last couple of days.
Yeah, so 16-4 at the end of that one, or did they get the 5th?
I think it was the 5th round.
They did pick up the 5th, okay.
They double ecoed.
Yeah, you're right, because they did went in with the pistols. But, I mean, everything said and done, we have seen Fnatic now two games in a row. I think it's been very clear on Twitter as well that Flusher was especially voicing his opinion, saying that they're not quite happy. A bit of a hellish couple of days. Bit of frustration, I think, when you go into these games expecting easy wins. And I mean, we've seen a whole lot of that today. PENTA against Na'Vi. Na'Vi probably went into that one with you'd expect some air of confidence. And we may as well go ahead and just recap what you guys have missed. Right from the top, it was that game on Cash. And I mean, Na'Vi looked like they were going to start well, and then it was the Na'Vi Cash experience.
Absolutely. PENTA came out of the gates so strong on that one as well. The first time we've seen them here in the ESL ESEA Pro League Season 2, we gave them time, of course, to put their team together after they made some changes. But, I mean, having Tarsin be in the lineup, Spitty as well, both of them with excellent individual performances and really helped get PENTA over the line. And it doesn't really seem like Na'Vi ever really managed to get going in that game.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a debut for Tarsin as well. That was exciting for me. Kind of catching glimmers of his name over in the Meisterschaft. Of course, we saw them battling with Mouse Sports over at Gamescom. But other than that, now this is real chance in real international Counterstrike here in the bowels of PENTA. Looking forward to seeing how far they develop and if they can kind of do best with that name, considering that PENTA always a team that's been in the Pro League and towards the majors in the past, but how much can they really show? They've always been towards the lower echelons, really, as of late in CSGO. Now, though, we have to talk about what happened to Na'Vi in our second game up against Titan.
It was Titan versus Na'Vi, one that we thought with Titan struggling on Overpass so much last night that they just really would have the same experience, but we were definitely quite surprised, actually, to see the Titan were a force to be reckoned with that one. And actually got the upset. We'll call it that for the sake of this discussion.
Yeah.
And Na'Vi just looked like they absolutely struggled as well. I think it was Seized having a very tough time in that game. I think particularly a few players weren't firing up there, and it was close towards the end. We started to sort of see some signs of a resurgence from Na'Vi. But Titan closed it out 16-13.
Yeah, and our third game as well, Na'Vi's third test of the night. And this one, they most definitely did pass. Up against EnVyUs, the team we just saw beat Fnatic 16-5. And they do manage to best them over on train 16-13. And of course, the final game you did just catch, or if you did just miss it, fear not, you will be able to catch that. And all the information over on the Score Esports as well, with that being their hot match. Articles are galore for that one. And I mean, what are they going to have to say about that? Fnatic falling, just acquiring 5 rounds. And I'm a little concerned that we're going to be starved for crazy Counterstrike now. We've just been spoiled with 2 days of crazy Counterstrike action. And of course, there is more to come, both on NA side of things later on this evening, as well as tomorrow. We're going to be bringing you more EU games. 3 games on the way tomorrow. At least I've assumed 3 games. I think I've written... We have 4, okay. Yep. News is we have an extra game. But still, you can see we're going to be starting with Titan TSM over on Cobble. That's going to be cool. I can't wait to see how TSM kind of hold up to, well, the TSM, that, or rather the Titan that just beat Na'Vi.
Absolutely. I think that'll be an interesting game. TSM looking strong. I mean, a lot of our stats tonight actually we're bringing up is like, yeah, Na'Vi lost to TSM on this map. Oh, actually, EnVy lost to TSM on this map as well. They're that team, another one of those teams that are in that top echelon between 2nd and 4th. All those teams are 5-2. So we're now going to start to see things spread out a little bit. We're now starting to see like placings start to be established. And it'll be good to see TSM hit the battlefield as well in those first couple games. Yeah,
getting to see a bit more of mouse sports as well. So that's exciting. That is about wrap it up for today's show, though, guys. Do be sure to tune in to twitch.tv/ESEA over for those guys as well. And a quick reminder about the Score Esports application to catch up on what you may have missed in today's games, or what you may very well be missing this evening over in North America. We hope to see you guys again tomorrow for more CSGO.